Oh my God, are we finally doing this thing? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am incredibly sorry for the delay in stream tonight. This one wasn't me. I would claim that it was not my fault. I am claiming innocence on this one. But welcome everybody. Thank you guys for sticking around. If you're still here and you waited around for us, I appreciate that so much. We have had some difficulties. Thank you so much, by the way, Paul, for updating the stream uh, chat, consistently and letting everybody know what's been going on there. But yeah, it seems that Streamlabs had some sort of a connectivity issue tonight. It would not let me start the stream. We were here, we were ready, you know what I mean, but it just wouldn't let us start the stream. But we did take the time to work on our Chronicle a little bit and get some important questions out there. So we did manage to make some progress with the time that we had. And hopefully the game will be even better because of it. So we are here now and we're going to get started. So welcome everybody. My name is Kevin, aka It's So Sublime. I go by It's So Sublime everywhere you want to find me on the internet. When this is our channel here on Twitch, Tabletop Down. We do all things tabletop related from the top down. We cover everything from board games to role-playing games, card games, and everything in between. And hopefully you guys enjoy role-playing games, because that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Tonight is our Rumors of the Dead Chronicle. Rumors of the Dead is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition live play game in which we roleplay as vampires within the city of Los Angeles. Think kind of an LAbyNight, concept, but we can't claim their quality, right? We try. Yeah, we try. But either way, that's the general gist of the game, and we try to make everything here on my channel interactive. That's one of the biggest things that I've always made a big point of, is I want you guys to be able to interact and get involved with the stream yourself. So this is very much the same. If you look up here in the top left, you'll see that you guys can add rumors and evidence, as well as adding dice to their pools, so that you can help the players individually, and you can also help me as a story writer write this chronicle. So by adding rumors, you put a rumor into the world that the kindred will just casually overhear or will be brought up throughout the story, and it may lead to something down the road. Now the way that works is, for every rumor that gets added, it also needs evidence to support that rumor before becoming true. And the way we do it is that every $100 of combined between rumors and evidence, one of those rumors becomes true, and it may become the next campaign arc for the next 3 to 4 sessions. So if someone starts a rumor that there is a Methuselah living underneath the city of Los Angeles, somebody else can back that with evidence by donating an additional $5, and it's something to the effect of, I've seen strange gas vents, cracks within the city leaking, noxious gas coming up from under the sewers that seems unusual. Another person could add a rumor saying that, during the night, strange mortals have had strange interactions. They've been more aggressive than normal, leading to the assumption that maybe there's some mind control. So by starting a rumor and then several pieces of evidence being added to that, by the time that it becomes true, when we hit that milestone, we've got a fleshed out story to tell with our kindred, and they become embroiled in whatever that story is. You can make it as, challenging or dark and spooky as you want, or you can go as light and silly as you want. Some of our current rumors range from the fact that there is a member of that there is a spy working in the Baron Circle that may be working with the Inquisition, and we also have a rumor that the local furry convention has a higher than normal invitee list of werewolves among them. So you can be as fun with it as you want. You can add evidence to all those. If you want to, check that out at ko-fi.com/tabletop down. There's links in the chat. There's links down below. You guys can check it out. Go there. You just click on the button. It's as simple as it could be. It'll pop up a window asking you to send a message. Send me a message letting me know what your rumor and or evidence is. Remember, if you send evidence, please make sure to mention which rumor it is attached to, so I can be sure I'm getting it right for you, and I'll be glad to get that in at the earliest convenience.
Hey, Kevin.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Could you interconnect 2 different rumors with the one piece of evidence, if it's something that is reasonably connecting?
If you can be creative enough to do that, I would go for that. Are we going to combine the furry werewolves with the Inquisition soldier? The Inquisition soldier is a furry werewolf. That's the answer. That's what it is.
That would be
But
quite
yeah,
scary.
yeah. If you can think of things like that, I have no problem with that as long as it's cohesive with the story. You guys can get as creative as you want. There are other games that have used similar principles, and the creativity is boundless. These games always end up so amazing because you're opening up to everyone's creativity in one game, and it just becomes so amazing when all those minds get put together. I can't wait to see as our story progresses. But let me go ahead and get started with our characters. I do want to get an introduction. Sorry, somebody said something.
Do the characters know about the rumors yet? Have they been introduced in game?
The characters, so here's one thing that I didn't do as well. When we started our campaign, we started with those 4 rumors, and I kind of just went under the assumption that characters knew those rumors existed.
Okay.
I probably should mention them in game again, but yeah, I should have done that. I kind of just went under the impression that you knew those to start, because you guys were the ones, of course, that helped me create our first starting rumors. But yeah, I guess
at the same time, we don't have too many feelers out there yet, so it's kind of understandable why we don't quite maybe know all the things.
Right, yeah, but yeah, as far as that goes, you can presume that you have heard everything except for the furry incident, because that one's a newer one, and we've been waiting for an opportunity to drop that little tidbit of lore into the game. The biggest thing is I will try to interject them as quickly as I can, but also want to try and interject them at the most appropriate time from the most logical source to deliver it. So until you guys start hanging out with furries more, that one's out there, but it might take a little bit before it crosses your ears. Of course, there's a good chance Izzy the Baron would be keeping tabs on something like that, or maybe a local gangrel would know about it. Either way, I'll make sure to get you guys more of those rumors in game. This way, you guys can see it brought up in the story. But let's go ahead and get through our character introduction so we can play the game. I'm going to start out with Jamal Cross here. If you want to introduce yourself, sir, and tell them who you are and who you're playing, we'll move right along.
All right, I'm Jamal from Texas, of the Silver Clan, and California with his best friend Dumont.
Nice. Let's switch right over to the other side, this one, and we'll go with Snow Cone.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jive. I'm going to be playing Snow Cone tonight. I use he, him pronouns, and the class I am playing is a Salubri that is a pharmacist.
Salubri pharmacist. I can dig it. I do love a good story of Snow Cone. He makes quite the interesting character. All right, and Mr. In Trouble himself. We'll switch down here to Bart Smith, who's currently just put himself into a big boiling pot of hot water.
It's not that bad yet. And hey, I'm playing Bart Smith, our nervous Nosferatu fixer, who is this the first time that we've had like nameplates for our characters up here?
It is, yeah. In case you guys have seen that, we finally got nameplates, and I went ahead and put some token images up there so everybody can more easily correspond you to your tokens on the map.
I dig it.
Yeah, got you covered. Right on, man. And last but not least, Numar Esnis. You didn't change your last name, so I went with what was on there, man. Everybody else had last names. I just had to put it up there. But feel free to change that if need be.
Yeah, it's sticking.
It's sticking.
Yeah, I am Numar. Run away from Texas with my friend Jamal. Think is over there. My head is kind of in a box.
That's exactly it.
Ooh, we got it.
Did we get the right direction? Nice. Oh yeah, I can make some adjustments if need be. I see you're getting a little clip there. I'll make sure to fix that for you. But yeah, that's the general idea behind it, is that we have 4 kindred. They all live in the city of Los Angeles, and they have recently been dubbed as landlords, which is the way the Baron refers to those in her domain that she has given small places of control, a couple of blocks here, a small community there, to take care of, that so she doesn't have to micromanage every last little detail. This community just picked up a nice little chunk of land down by the freeway on the southwest side of West LA, the furthest edge of her domain. So you guys are on border patrol. But we'll go ahead and get started with our game. Where we left off last week, Bart had met with his friend, ally, maybe?
Debtor? It's associate.
Debtor?
We're not friends. He's charming, but still at the same time scares me a little.
Associate's
So-
a great way to put it, I think. That's probably the best way to list it. But yeah, Bart met with his associate, Ruku, who had requested him to start paying off some, well, they'd agreed to start paying off some of the debts that you had owed him. And by doing so, he had asked you to go and collect on some other debts that others owed him. You were supposed to head to a, excuse me, a laundromat, a hotel employee, as well as a chop shop / garage on the outskirts of town. You guys had a little trouble, so Bart's claiming of being the wet work guy, the fixer, may have been a little bit exaggerated or a little understated, maybe. I'm not sure which yet.
I've already stated from the start that I am young and dumb. It's an established fact. But we're in the moment here. A wrench has just been dropped at the mention of my debtor to these lovely folks. Currently, we're surrounded by a group of bikers called the Marauders. Nosferatu like myself. Real cool folks. Wouldn't mind being friends with them. And also the owner of this junkyard, whose name escapes me.
Ratbag.
Ratbag.
Hey.
Okay, so he's actually part of the Marauders. Okay, cool.
Nice. I did just see, I haven't got a chance to look at it yet, but I did just see somebody has went and added something to the game. Thank you very much. Let me check it out. I'll make sure to peek over there real quick. First chance I get. Thank you for supporting. I didn't get a name. I didn't see the name on it.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, I think I saw it, but I didn't get a chance to actually to read it. So bear with me for 1 second. I'm gonna go with Weppard. Philly? I don't know. Either way, thank you so much for donating. I appreciate that, and I am pulling that up right now to see exactly what you added to our game. But yeah, real quick, just while we're, it's a new rumor. Nice, I like it. I will make sure to get that in at the earliest convenience. Give me a second to read through it here. But yeah, just to finish our, bit of our wrap up, Ratbag was the leader of the Midnight Marauders that you had went to go see. And as you had mentioned that you were there, you did some light shopping first, but at the you decided now is the appropriate time to mention it. And you had said that you were there on behalf of Ruku to collect some of the debt that is required. And you heard the sound of a dropped wrench as Stitches, the group's scout and lookout, a kind of rugged-looking Nosferatu, very thin, very emaciated, almost looks skeletal in a way, with the sunken-in eyes, and very. I mean, if you've played Blood Hunt, it is definitely your prowler to the T. Very, very sunken in and thin. Stitches had dropped a wrench, and you just heard the words, "What the fuck did he just say?" And that's where we ended our last session. But we'll be picking up from that moment right there as you hear those words. What the fuck did he just say? And she is curious as to your intentions now.
Yeah, I think Bart would go into kind of a stuttering, just shriveling mess of just like, just an associate, just trying to settle a debt, casual stuff. Please don't hurt me.
Please don't hurt me. I love that. You hear, do you want me to deal with this one? I feel like this is a pretty easy problem to solve. Is the question that you would hear her ask. At this point, you would definitely also see Toothpick and Gears, two other members of the Nosferatu gang. Gears is a larger, dark man, dark-skinned, with kind of a very muscular build for being misshapen as he is. So his arms are a little bit longer than normal. His legs are
Hey,
very
like same with me,
extended.
yeah.
But still quite muscular and large. He's a very looming force, right? As well as Toothpick, who lives up to his name. Very scrawny, pale colored complexion, who is constantly got a toothpick stuck in the corner of his mouth. And they both, sidle up alongside of Stitches, who stand their ground and kind of set a line of defense as if they're going to need to proceed. It's
Okay,
at
I'm
that
immediately
point,
looking for cover.
immediately looking for cover.
Yeah.
Give me a wits
Duck and
versus
hide.
wits perception or wits.
I can.
Yeah, you know what
Or
I mean.
wits awareness.
Wits awareness. You know what I mean. Give me a second to read this rumor. Let's see.
Maybe. I know the hidey spots.
There's a
Make
trap
sure I
door.
got this right.
I see where the valuables are, which is a secondary thing, actually. Like, if it comes down to it, I'm down to just picking up a thing that's about $500. Saying, start the car, start the car, start the car, start the car.
We're outside, right?
Yeah, I think
Did
we
you all
all
exit the
are.
vehicle is the big question, I guess.
I'm gonna mess up the name again. Guepard, whichever it is. I'm not seeing the message that came along with this. I want to make sure that we get your rumor. As soon as it went through, it should have. Correct me if I'm wrong, because this is a new system. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it should have popped up a box to send a message, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. So if you didn't send a message, or if it did give you any trouble, the best thing I could say is definitely just either now that you are a supporter there, it will allow you to message me. It very most likely should anyway. I can make sure to open a message with you.
Or yeah, also just send a whisper
Yeah,
switch
that's
if you
exactly
don't
what I was
want
gonna do.
that.
Oh no, there it is. Never mind. I see it. It's there. I don't know why it didn't pop up originally.
Leg.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah, it just didn't pop up. I was worried it didn't work. Actually, again, if you could throw in the chat, when you purchased the thing, when you clicked the button and it went through, it did pop up a message box for you, right? That's what it said it would do. I just want to double check that it was as easy as they claimed it to be. I'm loving this Ko-Fi page. Don't get me wrong. It simplified this so much, but thank you. I do have your rumor. It will be brought in very quickly. There you go. Okay, so, yeah, as you begin looking for cover, let's see what you rolled here. Oop, there we go. All right, 4 successes. So taking a look around, there's a lot of cover in here, right? So
Great,
you're
yeah.
in a garage. There's toolbox here. There's a workbench. There is actually a counter where things have been sold. And it's all kind of very open in here, right? So you have a small count. To your left, you have a counter that has a small little doorway behind it. It's one of those flap up, boards that you can kind of flap it up and down to walk behind the counter space, and a section of wall. But then the rest of the garage is open, completely open to your right, where there's a toolbox or two, a very large toolbox. Directly to your right, several tires that are stacked up. There's places that you could duck and hide.
Yeah.
And just
Like,
as
they'll
soon
know
as
the trick that I'm doing, but do they have countermeasures? I doubt it.
right, as soon as you break to go to take
Well,
a
no, I'm not
dive,
breaking yet. I'm just looking for the cover, and like, I'm not going to let them come within grabbing distance of me. But I'm
right.
still here for the conversation. Don't get me wrong. It's just, he's now given the obvious look left, right, and
Yeah.
like, they probably understand the tenseness of the person they'll run away from a situation like this. So, conversation. What's up?
Absolutely. And just so I am very clear,
Yeah.
where is the rest of our coterie while this is taking place? Did you remain in the van and let him handle this one entirely on his own? Are you standing by a door? You know what I mean? What is the situation?
I assume I'm standing outside the door.
Standing outside the doorway, okay? Let me make sure to put you on this image here too. I know it's just an image, but this will give you kind of a rough idea of what you're looking at, by the way. You pulled into a parking lot that did have kind of an open sliding doorway that is roughly constructed out of plywood and whatever materials they could make it out of. And once you got on the inside, there is a single garage door. It was closed, and then a singular door next to it, underneath the sign, next to a window, a large bay window looking in. And you can see in the window to the left of the door. The door is solid. Small little window slit in the top of it, maybe, you know, just 4 inches by 4 inches. So you can peek in that as well. And then the main garage door is shut. So you can peek in that window and see inside, or if you took a step 2 feet to your left, you could look right in the bay window and see what's going on. This interaction is happening pretty much right adjacent to the counter. To where he's got the counter on the left side, more of the garage, where the bay door would be on his right. He's right there where that between the door and the bay door would be on the wall. So yeah, you're at the door keeping an ear out. What about Jive Man and Snowcone and Numar?
I would say Snowcone's probably in the back of the van, just probably fidgeting with something like, I don't know, like a notebook or something, like one of those small composition notebooks.
Okay. Still in the band, playing with the composition notebook. Gotcha. Doing a little sketch work, maybe a little bit of formula, something to that effect.
Yeah.
All right,
Side
absolutely.
hypotheses.
That works for me.
I imagine Numar. I assume like the car's parked up like close to the entrance, so like I could just be leaning outside, standing outside the car, leaning up against it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the
Probably
car is
in talking range of Jamal.
Yeah, the car is parked essentially right in front of the bay door, like you said, and you were within range to speak with him. There's taking a look around outside. You don't see anybody else standing out here. Doesn't seem to be any other like major looming threats or any of that stuff. So you feel as if you've got a pretty decent view of your surroundings, should I say? Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to make some adjustments here, and it's not letting me. I'll get to it in a second. I'm trying to update the rumors. But yeah, that's. I just wanted to make sure I knew where you were. So as you take a look left, take a look right, and immediately go looking for a place to duck and take cover, you immediately see Ratbag, who has been crouched down behind a motorcycle, torquing on a wrench. Finally step up and stands directly in front, forming the triangle of them, where he is, of course, the group's leader, showing a very dominant place. And Ratbag himself is a pretty grizzled Nosferatu, but as far as that goes, he looks like your typical biker type. Mid-40s, or 40s, somewhere in that area, early to mid-40s. Big grizzled beard, large barrel chest, big guy, you know what I mean? But still, not humongous or anything like that, but just, a very stocky guy. And he takes up and stands up and he says, "Hold up. All right. Look, we gotta be fair. He's family. Somewhat. So you're coming here to collect
I would
a debt."
reveal them, maybe taking off my helmet for the sake of, oh yeah, I am actually Nos. Like, maybe it was a little obvious, but still.
There was a little bit of an assumption here that these guys have met you previously, right? It was the idea.
I think the thing is, I met one of their members, Monica. My Malwa is one of them.
Gotcha.
Essentially, so it's maybe know of me, but didn't know me.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a fair point. But yeah, I believe he was able to kind of pick up on maybe the person that you were referencing. You said you had your own garage. Word through the grapevine. I know this person who knows a person. Type of event.
So still. Okay, calming down. Okay.
So, look here. I know we owe a debt, and I'm not one to back off if I owe somebody something fairly. He keeps taking a look back at the other two to try and keep them from making any quick moves.
Uh-huh.
But there is an issue. Things didn't work out as planned. Some interlopers, some people got in the way and complicated measures for us. I know that's not Ruku's problem, and I know he's not the type of asshole to care. Personally, I didn't want to make the deal with him to begin with. He takes a look back, and you see Toothpick kind of put his head down a little bit, pulling his toothpick in his mouth as if he may have been the person behind this arrangement. But he says, but a deal is a deal, and we do owe him. The downside is the goods that we were supposed to be moving to pay his debt were taken from us right out from under our noses. Apparently, these three aren't as competent as they're trying to pretend to be now. He kind of gives another look back. All three of them now look slightly dejected, but still more angry than anything. Look, man, I'm telling you the truth, so... The gear that we had to move got picked up. Money's in the works, but the payments that was supposed to come in from selling these items got tangled up.
I would just make a note down of in the work, and like then kind of look back of, could I take something as a token at least? Or
As a token. He kind of laughs and chuckles a little bit, which is immediately followed by a couple of small snickers and laugh from the people behind him as well. You know, mostly Stitches, who is still very anxious to do something. You can see that she is just excited for the prospect of getting to hit somebody tonight. You've had that look at once or twice, surely. You know what I mean? She's more than amped about it. But he says, look, I'm not one to rely on much else but my word. My word's as good as my bond. But what I can do for you is maybe something better, and maybe something that can mutually benefit the both of us. How many guys you got out there in that van? You take a look to the right now and see the obvious security cam watching the parking lot. You can only see currently numerous on that camera.
They said they was going to send me in here, so I don't think they're going to be stopping in.
I'm not asking out of fear for us. I'm sure my fellas can take care of that problem. What I'm asking is, how much backup do you have for yourself? I could,
kind of thinking on it,
potentially let you in on a little bit of this endeavor, since these three proved incompetent enough to let the goods get stolen. I could make an extended offer to you. Help us reclaim these things. Help us go pick up the supplies that were supposed to be brought here. I can make the transaction. I give Ruku all of his money, and I make sure to get you a cut of it as well. Not to mention, maybe a little bit of a discount next time you come in the store.
Yeah, Bart's nodding along to that, and where I would have to ask them about it, so I don't want to be putting their risk into this type of situation. But I'm competent. I would even raise out the shotgun that I have carried on my back.
You'd immediately hear Stitches yell something like, "You make them agree. It doesn't matter. The boss asks you to do something, you do it." Who's immediately silenced with a "Shut up!" Again, I'm not real thrilled with your actions this week. I've got a missing truckload of goods, and you three are sitting around here with your dicks in your hands. You immediately, you see a confused look wash over Stitch's face, and then it's followed by a pleasant giggle as she's trying to figure out where her dick is. But he says, look, it's an offer. It's the best one I'm going to give you. Otherwise, if you try to press it, I don't know what else to say for you, buddy.
Just as a thing, I don't think this is a tonight pressing issue, right? It was he handed me a listing, he expected me to get back to him somewhat soon.
At some point. Deal. Yeah, that was probably to be expected. A day or two at best, yeah.
I'll go ask the crew, I'll step out and ask, well, I guess Lamar, you up for expediting their payment here? The boss man inside says that they can get everything tonight, or it's going to be waiting longer. But says that it's going to be like getting it back from people that stole it, essentially. You want a hassle? Or are we just going on with our night?
I don't need a hassle. This is your job. You want to wait?
Yeah,
We'll wait.
Shit, could I do this solo?
No.
You don't trust me?
That's
Do you want to do this
is an
solo?
interesting question.
Just going after people that are thieving a truck? I figure I'm capable enough and I don't want to risk y'all with it. Shit could be dangerous.
I'm sorry, so they want to, so what exactly do they want us to do?
Okay, I'll just have the door open and ask, what all do we need to do in specific?
Says, you're welcome to come in. We're not going to bite. Well, she might. Keep your fingers in your pockets. Look, it's a simple concept. I'm offering your buddy here a way to help resolve our problem and make you a little bit of money in the process.
Oh yeah, that too.
The idea is... Oh, I'm catching a little echo from somebody. I'm not sure who it is. The idea is... you guys track down a group of thieves, collect what they owe me, and I'll make sure to get Ruko his money if that's such a great concern to you guys. And I'll make sure to cut you in on a tidy little profit of it yourselves. Not to mention, you make a friend. I would be in your debt and not in that sort of way. Don't even push it. I will make sure you get paid. I will be a friendly acquaintance. It's a fair deal. If not, we'll take care of it. But I can tell you right now, if somebody's trying to take blood from a turnip, they're not going to find blood here.
What's the pay?
Couple of shitheads. From what I understand, they ride around on their little pocket rockets, their scooters, whatever you want to call it. Couple of kids on dirt bikes. They managed to catch our shipment between point A and point B. We had a ghoul that was carrying the stuff. The ghoul got hit. He barely made it back with his life, but he didn't make it back with the truck. They've taken it somewhere and we're not sure where. So you could track down the guys. I know where they run. They've got their little turf across town. You can start there, maybe ask a few people, figure out where they're at. The legwork's up to you. It's just an offer, like I said. You can take it or leave it, that's up to you, but if you want to make a couple extra bucks, I'm looking to try and resolve this as quickly and efficiently as I can. I have been hearing some disgusting rumors lately of horrible things, and I would like to make sure that I am ahead of the curve. He says, look, the shipment itself is a load of guns. Guns and ammo. We move a lot of different supplies, right? Artillery for the anarch movement, for anyone that needs it to protect yourselves. Self-defense. 50 cals, bazooka, whatever. Self-defense. You like what I'm saying. But
that
I
is
feel
even more
that
enticing than for me.
we need to make sure these guns stay in town. It's not just about the money. I have been hearing some word that these soldiers we've been hearing about around town are packing something disgustingly powerful. Something that's not natural and specifically meant to kill us. So, if you want a better reason for doing this, is to protect our kind. I don't know what these things do, but I've heard of some of the weapons they've got, and apparently they've got something new, and it's powerful. And it's supposed to wipe us off the map. So unless you want something like that getting out on the streets and we don't have enough guns around the neighborhood, I don't know what else to tell you.
I'm looking with a smile towards Jamal.
What are you smiling at?
I think we should do this. Come on.
What's the pay?
Guess he wants firm pricing.
The shipment's worth somewhere in the area of like, I don't know, say 8, 10. Depends on how much of it they've taken out of it. I assume by this point they've picked through some of the good stuff. I only owe Mr. Ruko $2,000 of it. So, of which I will make sure to make payment. I need to still make my profit so that we can keep this trade moving. I could throw in two grand for the legwork for you and your buddies to split. And I'll let you have your pick of any one weapon that you like. I would like to see the kindred in the neighborhood armed. I don't know what the rumors going around about these soldiers necessarily entail, but if they do have something this powerful, I don't want to know about it. And I want to make sure that when they come knocking at my door, I can answer back with something a little more powerful.
Hell yeah.
Is this a usual shipment? You guys usually move stuff on this route? Is this a new thing?
Not to, give away all of our dirty little secrets, but yeah, we take care of a lot of the guns in the neighborhood, at least this part of town. We help out Izzy. She keeps things going. She keeps the neighborhood clean, so we're all on the same team.
All right. Give Bart whatever details you need, and we'll take care of it tonight or tomorrow.
That would be pretty cool.
I do like a guy that knows his way with words. Such a charming fellow. All right. He starts snapping his fingers, and immediately you see Stitches step up. Yeah, I'm on it. You sure you don't want me to take care of this? You don't need these guys. I can go deal with this tonight. I will do it. Just go get the damn note. Fine.
Could we all work on it together? Because if we're doing a search, it's still good to have more eyes.
He says, "You want me to work with you?"
Hey, if you come back with a shipment, you get paid, and we don't get paid. Huh?
I don't know about
I'm just trying to get the debt settled, so. Plus friendly competition.
She takes a moment, and you would see her kind of share a glance with Ratbag. And he says, "It does make sense to have one of ours at least help.
Not with us. You do your own separate shit. We can do our own.
You still keep your payments, but let Stitches ride along, crack some skulls with you. She's been looking to hurt something, and she's driving me nuts, if I'm being honest. So take her with you. She can point you in the direction of where these guys are. She knows more about them than I do. So that'll help you out. She can help you, crack some heads if it needs to be cracked. Honestly, I want all their legs broken. I make a point of letting them understand not to mess with my shit, and I will be more than pleased by it. But as long as the goods are returned, that's all I'm concerned about now." And she says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll get them. I'll get them." She kind of smiles and gets a little excited. You see her reach down and she grabs that wrench back up and just slides it into a back pocket. She says, "Well, hey, I guess she'll be the one telling you where to go if you want to take her with you."
We'll follow behind our vehicle.
I'm assuming she would rather use her own transport anyway. What the hell are you doing? You're in a van. Why are you wearing a helmet?
Disguise.
Are you
crack it back on and start walking back out?
Kids these days. All right, you two, help me get this thing up on the lift. Get your asses to work. You see them immediately start helping him load a motorcycle back onto a lift and start moving it. Stitches does come out, smile on her face with a little bit of a, arrogance to her, like, okay, I'm going to show you guys, But she says, "All right, I'll show you the block uptown. Follow me. Does that work for you guys? I know you said you would get to it in your own time, but I ain't got shit to do. I'll ride across town, show you where it's at. I'll even help you do a little legwork."
What's the time looking like? Point.
At this point, let's see. I'm trying to think. So you went and visited with Ruku. You spent probably an hour there. You probably spent another 2 hours maybe working on stopping by the first two places. They were pretty quick stops, you know what I mean? So I'm saying, around this time of night, you're probably looking at about midnight. You've got six hours before daylight, so you've got time. She says, unless you want me to sit on my hands, I can go take care of it. Make sure you don't get any of the money. I don't even care about the money. He can keep the money. I just want to beat somebody's ass. She's here getting, again, little squirrely, man. She's excitable, for sure.
I think we'll come along.
I think around this point, Snowcone would start to be wondering, like, what's taking everybody so long? So he's gonna call. I think they're gonna call Bart just to see like what's taking them so long. So I'm just be like,
I guess as we're walking out, I get the phone call ringing. We got a side job. To our side job.
oh, okay. What's the job?
Gonna beat some ass and get back some guns.
That's it.
That's it? That's a little bit more eventful than the shit that we were doing before.
No, I was just expecting some. Oh, I guess I don't know what I was expecting. But it could be fun. All right, meet you there. All right, I'll be outside the van. I'll meet you guys. Actually, where are you guys right now? I'm not quite sure.
We are walking just about 5 feet back to the vehicle, so I hop in and we're still on the call.
It's like,
doing that dumb shit.
yeah. Oh, I want does Stitches come in the car with us?
No.
No. You see Stitches moves towards a very sleek, she is probably riding something that looks akin, if you know your motorcycles, to like a Shadow. It's a bobber style motorcycle, very slim, with the rear fender cut completely off of it, nice little speed tire on it, and it's definitely like a Sportster style of motorcycle.
Don't go too fast, please. I say to her out the window.
She says, yeah, fuck you! And you see her immediately start peeling rubber in the parking lot as she starts coming out.
Who's driving?
A little bit broadside. It's broadside as you can go in a motorcycle, right?
Yeah. As we then scramble, I guess.
I'm driving.
Yeah.
She would have waited till you were in the truck and at least able to keep up, but yeah, she does immediately take off with she has intent, you know what I mean? There you go. By the way, Gwipifile and everyone else, if you guys want to, you can head over to the Ko-Fi page. There is an article there. It's listed. You can search it. I will actually link it to you right now in the chat with the updated information about what rumors have been added. If you'd like to know exactly what that rumor is and how that fits into our story, maybe some of the information you just heard might make a little bit more sense. Right there is our Ko-Fi link to the page where you can see the evidence that we currently have, or the rumors that we currently have. All right, sorry, go ahead. But yeah, once you guys load up in the van, she peels out on the bike. She does kind of kick into a little bit of a, you see the front end lift up. She's playing her a little bit. But as she realizes, that you're not even going to come close to keeping up with this incredibly fast and agile motorcycle, she does start to pull back a little bit and allows you to catch up. You could definitely tell that if she wanted to disappear, she'd be gone. But she makes a point to slow down a little bit.
I think I would see like Stitches like slowing down. Like, are they like next to us, or are they like still like a little bit in front of us?
Are we talking about the motorcycle? The motorcycle would be in front.
Okay. I was gonna do something funny.
Oh yeah. She is riding ahead and kind of, she's throwing one hand up on the hip, riding one-handed and looking back occasionally to make sure you're still back there. And as she takes every turn that she takes, you hear the motorcycle crack down. She, cuts a hard turn and she's showing off a little bit and trying to, have a little bit of fun or try and impress somebody while she's at it. But yeah, you're pretty easily able to follow her at this point. It's only about 20 minutes across town. You know what I mean? I know that Clark's going to yell at me about this because I know traffic in LA is 20 minutes probably doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
At
That's
midnight,
like, what is it, like 2 hours, right? Even at midnight, I've heard traffic things are just bad, right? Like leave 3 hours early for work, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, you are able
Stitches
to...
knows a route.
Yeah, it's exactly. She does know a couple, and that is true. She does make her way through every back alley and side street that she can, kind of making her own path as she heads across town. But you travel for about 15 minutes, and you pull into a small neighborhood. Excuse me. Let me pull up our map here. It's not an actual map, but just kind of a tone. Let's see. There you go. A small section of neighborhood that is located under an overpass, as far as that goes. And as she pulls under the overpass, she actually pulls her bike directly under the bridge itself. And you see her get off the side of the road and then begin getting off the motorcycle. There's room to be parked on either side of the road. You can pull up behind her, in front of her, whichever. But there is a little bit of area underneath the underpass on either side where you see dirt and trash. You actually see a little bit further down and under it that there is a trash can, or not trash can, a barrel that has a small fire with several people standing around it. So there's an area there where you could park your van and presumably not have to worry too much about it. But yeah, that's you see her getting off of her bike, and as she does, one of the things that you would notice is that she has a skull cap helmet on, but one thing she has across her face is a bandana, which she does not take off, trying to keep a bit of her guise, but you can definitely see these sunken in eyes, very almost, like I said, near skeletal. But with the mask and not being able to get a good look at her hands due to gloves and leathers and things like that, she's fully geared out. You would almost just take the impression that maybe she's just hardcore on drugs or something, with the real sunken in eyes and very thin and gaunt. But she does at least present as mildly possible to be mortal. And gets off the bike and waits for you.
Yep. Guess I approach. And who's joining in on this endeavor?
Come with.
Yeah, I'd get out of the car, join you guys.
Cool.
Snowcone?
Oh yeah, I'm coming with too.
Right on. Let me pull up my notes here. Yeah, as you get off, and make your way over to where she is standing, she says, "Well, this is gonna be mostly on you.
Yeah.
People don't love the face, but maybe with your hat." And she knocks on your helmet. You know what I mean? Actually, like taps on it a couple of times. She says, "Look at that."
Yeah, like your boss gave me shit about it, but this is a pretty good idea when it gets down to it. Sure, not everyone can rock it. It's more for our culture, but it worked.
Yeah. I guess it preserves something. Masquerade or that melon of yours, I don't know. Either way, people don't like to talk to me as much, so this is going to be your part of it. Legwork.
People love
Across the
talking to me.
neighborhood. Look around. There's plenty of people to talk to. And as you take a look around, there is a large number. Even at midnight, you do see that there is a small homeless group that is down under the overpass. There's a couple of people sitting on stoops. There is a convenience store that is currently still open. There is, it's still a busy and active, neighborhood. There's people walking around, things like that. You even see a couple of street performers that are still out this late. Kind of, it's almost funny. You can tell these are not the best street performers, right? One, they're in the worst neighborhood possible for it, and two, like, it's the middle of the night, but they're still out here trying to grind to make $1.
I want to go over there and give them some money. They're working hard.
I will
you
too, and I
have
want to
the
be giving them
opportunity.
some money for the sake of they'll be the ones that I've spotted. I'll ask Stitches just the description of who we're looking for, essentially.
She says, yeah. Let me, shit, I know I had a name written down here, and now I'm drawing a blank on what it was.
And then Snowcone, could you be the face actually for this conversation? Like, we can both throw up the cash into the case, but
Yeah,
just to add impact.
Yeah, she says,
yeah, I can do that.
well,
Yeah,
to tell you how young and dumb they are, they go by the pit fighters, as in like pit bull fighters. They got a dog on the jacket. It's a whole thing. They ride dirt bikes. I mean, everyone in this neighborhood surely knows them. They're from here.
So do they do animal fighting?
I think they are the animals.
Okay, that's, I guess, a little more simple and fine.
Yeah, well, either way, they're a pain in our ass. We've ran into them a couple times. Usually they know better than to fuck with us, but I guess when they got wind that the truck only had a ghoul with it, they thought it was worth a risk. But you do your best to look around. I can go talk to some of the homeless guys. They don't seem to mind my appearance as much.
Oh,
Or-
if you go in to talk to the homeless people, can you give them a couple of these and Selko's gonna like start digging in their pockets like, where the fuck did I put these? And it's like, oh yeah, here. It just hands Stitches like a stack of business cards.
Business cards. Okay, I thought you were going to hand them pharmaceuticals. Yeah, sure. I'll do some advertising while I'm at it. I'll be right on that. You see her take 3 steps towards the homeless people and just throws them on the ground behind her. He just scatters. No shit's given. She's kind of an asshole. But yeah, she just keeps walking at that point.
So speaking of looking around, do I notice anything on immediate look about? Like through the power of wits and awareness at
Gotcha,
half
yeah.
or 3?
Yeah, if everybody wants to go ahead and give me wits and awareness, go for it.
Or yeah,
Anyone
also
that's
full
interested
rolling.
in doing a little searching.
I can always roll a crit.
Yeah, if you guys want to do a little wits awareness, see what you guys can see. All right, let's see what everybody rolls. All right, so
Couple 4s.
make sure it starts. Okay, where's the first one at here? Numerous. Okay, gotcha. All right, so Numerous has a single success. Let's see. Sorry, Numar has a single success. Bart has 4 successes, almost critical. Let's see. Sorry, Jamal with 4 successes, almost critical again, and Snowcone with 2. Nice. All right, so those of you with even the 1 and 2, you get pretty much the general description that I had given you, right? There's a handful of people milling about. You don't see much as far as that goes. There is, like I said, 2 people sitting outside of the convenience store that are currently doing some sort of street performance work. One of them is dressed rather lavishly and kind of, over the top get up that he's got on. Somewhere between like Michael Jackson and a bad acid trip. And then the other one is actually just a guy that's sitting down on a bucket that has 3 or 4 other buckets lined up in front of him doing drums on the buckets. But then there is also, 2 or 3 people you see sitting on stoops of houses or resident, like apartment buildings. And then you see, the homeless group that, Stitches had just walked towards as well. Those of you with 4 successes, you notice a couple of extra things. So not only do you notice all of those people standing around, but one of the things that you would pick up pretty quickly is that some people have actually gotten up and walked away. As soon as they saw you guys kind of come into the neighborhood and are looking around for things, people are drawing windows, closing doors, you know what I mean? Kind of keeping... They immediately sense that the atmosphere has changed. Several people get up and go inside their apartment buildings or houses, and even the grocery store or the whatever you call it, convenience store clerk is kind of taking a peek out the window to take a look at you. Something else that you would notice is that there is under this bridge, especially around the columns that hold up the bridge over the road, as well as the slopes where it is actually like riding up on the edge, where storm drains, I guess you would call it. You see a large amount of graffiti. And mixed in with that graffiti is definitely symbols that would represent vampire, or kindred association. You definitely see a giant pit bull image with, just a dog with a giant spiked collar, and it's almost... it is reminiscent of like the Ventru symbol in a way, where it has like two baseball bats, one with a chain wrapped around it and one with spikes on it, kind of making an X behind it, or like a skull and crossbones, but instead it shows a dog's head, you know, with these two bats behind it. That is the biggest image you see on the slope where the rain comes down, but then also other, you know, images like an anarch symbol or two on the actual columns and posts, representing some probably kindred association within the neighborhood. So you would pick up on that as well, but that would be about the only extra thing. Yeah, just spray painted under the underpass, even maybe on the side of the convenience store, but for the most, just wherever, you know, graffiti would make the most sense as far as that goes. And do we
see anyone that indicates like towards a specific building of residence, or we could possibly be skipping over talking to the artist?
Right, no, not really. It doesn't like lead to there's no like, you know, arrow pointing here or anything that's more heavy. It just seems to be that they have covered a good bit of this neighborhood. And actually, since you guys both got 4 successes, taking a look at the ground, you see numerous motorcycle tire marks on the ground. You know what I mean? You can tell that they've rode this whole area to death as far as that goes. You're kind of just like taking a look down the streets and see all the burnt rubber, and it's just about that time this kid actually comes by and almost cuts you off, like almost runs into you as he skates right past you on a skateboard, and just you hear him yell back, "Look out, Dick! Making the way!" and kind of just keeps on, you know, trucking as far as that goes. But yeah, there's a lot of signs that they probably run this whole neighborhood.
Well, we're just here to talk, so.
Fair enough, man. Well, you guys are welcome to go wherever you want to, search around wherever you want to, talk to whoever you want to, as far as that goes. There's a lot of different
and I were going
options.
over to the musical presenter.
I'm gonna walk around and like just look for weapons.
Okay, cool. You said just look for weapons?
Yeah, the weapons that was like, this is their area. They would have sold the weapons in this area.
Okay, gotcha. Kind of looking to see if you can, you know, find a place that might be a good stash location or something like that, right? Cool.
Stashes, people who have guns on them.
Absolutely, that I can do. Let's see. And you guys are heading to the thing. What about you, Numerous? What's Numar up to?
I'll go with Jamal, I think.
Okay.
Just so he's not alone. He's my friend.
He's my best friend. I love it.
I did roll well on my wits, so I'm not seeing as much.
Got a buddy vampire situation going on. I like it.
You want to do a streetwise check?
You know what? That would actually be a great roll for it. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and do you know, like wits and streetwise or something like that, that would be fine. Unless you have a better roll in mind. I am always happy to let you guys help decide the rolls.
Difficulty?
We'll call it probably actually. So like just to look around and try and identify things. Let's go with like a 3. You know, it's you're gonna have to look in back alleys and things like that. Holy shit!
Oh, shit!
Wow!
Beautiful.
Look at that,
buddy. Do you live here?
That is a success on every single die. That is out of 7 die. That is
so
impressive.
Close to a brutal critical.
Right?
That
Yeah. I know, right? One more, if it would have been really good. You'd have just been like ripping people's heads off. Like, where are the guns? You know what I mean? Give me I will make a gun out of you.
What is this, Destiny
You're not
2?
Smeezy.
Yeah, that's a hell of a roll, man. That is impressive. Okay, yeah. With a 7, we'll get back to that here in a second. Let me go ahead and get started with the street performer, and then we'll touch base on that as well. All right.
It's on the truck.
Right, it's right there, man. Big sign. It's like guns here.
Yeah.
Anywho, I apologize. That threw me off. All right. Sorry. Snowcone and Bart, you guys are making your way over to the street performer, correct?
Oh.
That was the idea. Let me see if I make sure I got his info here. I made a list of like 20 different people earlier. I did a little bit of work to make this work. So, which one do you make your way to, by the way? Do you make your way over towards the lavishly dressed one or the drummer?
Drummer would be my vote.
I think the lavish one would be the one to go to. That's just
We
my
can
opinion,
both
though.
try one for shits and gigs.
Yeah, like divide and conquer.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
especially because I don't have to pay as much money to seem impressive. Here is $10. Ooh.
Gotcha, man. All right. That I can do. All right. Well, let's start with Bart then. And I
Okay.
misspoke earlier because I should have read my notes again. As you make your way over towards the drummer, you see that he is actually a man sitting in a wheelchair currently. That's currently out on the sidewalk. You know, he's got his drums laid out in front of him, kind of set up like a trap set almost, and spread out in front of him. And he's going to town. He's doing pretty decently at it. You know what I mean? He's not half bad at making this work. And you know, for what equipment he has been given. Something else that you would notice is that he kind of looks a little bit disheveled, like maybe he lives out here on these streets a lot more than indoors. And as you pull up, he sees you coming and immediately kind of kicks into a little bit of more of a heavy solo, and gives you a bit of a smile and a wink and continues playing his drums. You know, but he does kind of nod forward, and you see that there is one of the buckets is turned right side up, and it has a couple of bits of change and like a loose dollar or two inside of it.
This dude pulled on the heartstrings a bit, so it's gonna be pulling out $40, and it's where just folding it, tossing it in, and gonna wait till he gets like just was probably gonna be a pretty impressive drum solo for that amount of cash.
Oh yeah. I remember. Like that's, you know what I mean? He's getting into it pretty well. But yeah, so you kind of wait till he's really into the heart of it, and then you drop $40 in his bucket. Is that the idea?
Essentially.
Awesome. Yeah. As he sees you do it, and he's really giving it all he's got at this point, and he actually kind of stops. He almost, you see when he watches that amount of money get tossed in the bucket, he misses for the first time. He misses a beat. You know what I mean? But then quickly wraps up his session and takes the time to say, "Hey, buddy, thank you, man. Appreciate that." Yeah.
I'm looking around for associate, essentially. Person with like a bulldog tattoo, or not tattoo, bulldog patch on their back. Know where I can find them?
Oh. You kind of see an immediate look of a little bit of panic or fear, you know, wash across his face. Like, and he takes a look around right off the bat with a little hesitation. He's like, look, buddy, I don't think you want to mess with those guys. You know, there's a pretty rough bunch. You know, those guys are always causing trouble in the neighborhood, you know? I mean, I really don't know how much I should say about them.
Trouble to you if you talked about them?
I mean, trouble to anyone that says too much, right?
Like, I can give like a light flex to try showing I can make trouble too.
All right, that's fair enough. And yeah, based on description of your character, you know, that's something. As he does, he kind of giggles at that. All right, man, all right. He takes a look back down. You see him eyeball that money in the bucket one last time. He's like,
don't let that stay out there.
It's a good point. And you see him actually take it, and he puts it up and puts it in his pocket. He says, look, I really shouldn't say anything, but yeah, I mean, the guys around the neighborhood, several of them live around here. I mean, that apartment building over there and a couple blocks up the street. He says, I don't think they're around tonight, though. He says, they came through a couple hours ago. I heard them peeling out wheelies. That's why I'm out here so late. I waited till they left. that Tommy character, he always likes to give me shit. I try to avoid him as best as I can. They really just run off a good crowd anyway, so it's pointless to be out here while they're doing the damn wheelies.
Fair, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're around here. I don't really know where they're at the moment. But they did take off, probably about 3 hours ago, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Is there one in particular you're looking for, or just the whole bunch
Was I
of them?
given any exact name by Stitch,
You
or
really weren't. No,
no?
just the group was all that was really given to
Yeah,
you.
I'm just looking for, I think, the group at this point. We can pass the
Right.
message along the chain from there.
So, yeah, I mean, if you want, I mean, I could keep an eye out for you, and I mean, for helping me out, I can try and give you some information if I see them. But do you got a phone?
I'll nod to that, and I'll give this random person my burner phone number.
All right, fair enough. Again, he
And
actually just. I'm assuming you. Well, if you go to, how do you give it to him? Actually, you just start rattling off numbers.
yeah, I
Kinda
think I would
curious.
just rattle off numbers. I wouldn't be
How-
the type to hand off this phone. It has at least some questionable information on it. It's probably Masquerade breachy at this point.
Right. Yeah, hold on a second. You see him go rummaging around. And he actually reaches into like a saddlebag that he's got hooked up on the side of his wheelchair, full of stuff. Where he kind of rolls with all of his gear. It's like a book bag. He's just got strapped on it. But he pulls out a notebook and piece of paper and writes it down, like tears off the corner, and stuffs it in his pocket. And he says, I hate to ask, but oh wait, never mind. I got a quarter. And he reaches down to his bucket and pulls out. He says, hey, I just gotta use the payphone. But yeah, if I see him, man, as soon as they come through, I can give you a notice. But I'm gonna leave as soon as they get here. I really, like I said, Tony's a dick. He always fucks with the chair. He thinks it's funny.
Yeah, stay safe.
I take care of myself. They don't bother me that bad. I don't like to deal with the assholes. They like to poke fun. It's fuck them, right? He says, but hey man, you made my whole night. I'm gonna get home. I might actually get to go put in a little bit early. Go get myself something to eat. He says, but you be careful, man. Those guys are kind of creeps. I hopefully you ain't trying to run with them. But if I know most of the people that come looking for them, you're probably trying to do the opposite. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of town before it gets any worse. But I'll be only a couple of blocks away. I'm gonna go get a sandwich here and I'll keep an eye out for you. And if they come, I'll stop at the payphone here and give you a call.
Thanks.
No problem, buddy. And he kind of smiles and, goes back to his, he spends another couple of minutes rapping away at his drums. And then you see him start to pack up if you sit around for a moment or two.
Is Snow Cone wrapped up? We'll have to see.
Yeah, let's see.
It's happening basically simultaneously.
Exactly. While you're having that conversation, Snowcone, you approach a very interesting man. As you pull up on this guy, he has got something around the lines of like, I don't even know what the hell you call that type of jacket, but it goes all the way down to almost his feet, but it's like an overcoat with a big fluffy collar around it that is multicolored, so it's very reminiscent of your hair. But think like 70s pimp, right? The furry coat that goes all the way down, but underneath of that you see he is rocking a pair of skinny jeans with some Converses. He's got a band t-shirt on for something terrible. I don't know, he's got a Machine Gun Kelly t-shirt on. There's my punchline for the day. I'm sure somebody will get mad at me for saying that it was a stupid band, but that guy, you know what I mean? Like he's dressed like new age essentially underneath of all of it, but he's got this heavy coat on. He's got bracelets all the way up and down his arm. He's got a choker around his neck and then 3 chains underneath the choker. He's just a collage, a mix of way too many styles trying to mix into one. But you see that he is actually dancing. He's getting down, and as he sees you come over, You know, he kind of throws some finger guns at you. He's like,
Yeah.
I like the hair, man. It's pretty cool stuff, bro.
Talk about my hair when you dressed up here like the most fucking freshest person in town. Where'd you get that
Damn
jacket?
right. Look at this shit. Man, I found this shit a couple weeks ago, man. That's good, ain't it? I like it. What can I do for you, my guy? Wait, you got any requests? I can do some dancing. He just keeps dancing. Like he doesn't. There is no music playing. He has got something going on in his. He's got a jam in his head, and he's bringing it to the streets.
It's like first thing you could do. Well, I actually wanted to tip you for you know how you're dancing, but first, can you teach me one of these dance moves? It's been a while since I've been busting a groove. I'm kind of old, if you can tell.
Oh shit! Oh, now we were gonna have a dance party over here. Hey, drummer boy, kick it, do it. This is probably where you're like, you know what I mean? This would have happened during your thing. Do the thing, man. And he's like, all right, come on, give me some.
Yeah, that goes into the solo.
Let me take a look here. What kind of roll? We got to make a roll out of this because I want to know how bad it gets, right?
There is like a performance.
Yeah, that's what I was
Which
thinking.
I have 0 dots in.
Yeah.
So I imagine this is going to be amazing.
So yeah, like performance and dexterity, maybe performance and I would even argue maybe stamina or something like, or composure to see how well like how long you can go, or how long you practice with him, or more or less composure, see how well you can keep focused while he's trying to teach you. I'll let you make up your mind, but yeah, performance is definitely the skill that's got to go with it.
I think I'll do dexterity because I imagine you got to be like very like skill, like you got to be very like dexterous to be able to pull off some moves. You can't just start flailing.
Yeah,
moves.
absolutely. Dex is a great way to go about the dex and performance for sure. And the type of dancing that he is doing, man, it is unlike anything you've ever seen. I mean, he's got his own style and swagger to it for sure.
Oh wait, that's thing performance. Okay, there we go.
Let's see.
What's the difficulty on this?
We'll make this a difficulty. Oh man, we'll make it a difficulty of 2 to see if you can get pretty close. You know what I mean? But every point above 2 you get, the better it looks, right?
Yeah. All right, let's see what happens.
It's a bit of a movement to get used to. Like, say, he's kind of got his own style. Got one of these going on, like there's a wave to it.
Oh,
hell yeah!
He's like, oh, god damn, man! You said you was old, but I know you was this old shit. You don't know how to dance. Where the fuck, man? Come on! All right. He like actually starts like grabbing your shoulders at one point, and he's trying to move with you. You get like a ghost situation going on where he's like rocking it with you, and it's bad. All of it is bad. But he does spend a good 4 or 5 minutes solid trying to work with you to teach you a dance move. By the end of it, you kind of get the idea of what's going on, but you are not pulling it off for yourself. No rhythm, no timing. It doesn't help that there's no real music. The drummer that is, has stopped playing and is talking to some guy in a helmet. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going at it with this guy in the street, and it's kind of become an awkward situation. But he seems to be completely ecstatic over the whole process as far as that goes. Yeah, he has no problem with it. But yeah.
At this point, I think we addressed that 7 skill roll.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
that?
I'm still gonna give him $10 though.
Okay, so whenever you're done, you pull out $10.
It's like thanks for trying, dude. I'm an old soul, so I can't rock with everybody. But I thank you for spending your time for me, teaching me what you can.
You sure, man? Well, shit. Thank you, man. He puts $10 in his pocket. He says, I ain't out here for the money. I'm just out here for the moves. But hey, I appreciate it all the same. And he just keeps going back at it. Yeah. There, as you look around there, this guy has no hat out. He's just out here to dance. This is his thing. He says, either way, man, it's good to meet you. My name's Disco Dave. That's what they call me anyway. Disco Dave.
Disco Dave, it's a
Yes.
pleasure to meet you. You can call me Snowcone.
Snow Cone, man, I like this guy. Fuck, this guy's cool. You see this guy? He's cool. He keeps yelling at the drummer. You know what I mean? He's cool. But yeah, he's having the time of his life as far as going to town, and never at any point does he stop dancing while talking to you. He says, "What got you out here so late, man? What are you doing out here? Just dancing?"
No, well, I'm actually on a bit of a job right now. We're looking for a certain person. You know anybody around here with a pitbull tattoo?
Patch.
Patch, thank you.
Yeah, man. There's lots of them shitheads around here, man. There's like 30 of them. There's a bunch of them. The damn fools are everywhere.
Seen any recently?
Well, yeah, they came through a couple hours. Dude went in the gas station over there, the little store. He caused a bunch of trouble. The woman, I heard him screaming on the way out. She said, "Get the hell out." Apparently, he wasn't being real friendly, but yeah, it was like 2-3 hours ago. They went that way, and he points that in a direction under the underpass in that general direction. He says, they probably out doing some of their runs, man. They're always up to nothing, always up to no good. He says, "I don't give a shit about those dudes. Let me tell you, these guys are fucking dicks, right? They come riding their bikes through here. They make fun of me for the way I dress, the way I dance. You ever see those assholes? They got a damn dog on their coat."
I mean, I can't judge anybody's fashion. I mean, look at the way I'm dressing. I'm wearing a red lab coat here. Come on.
I just assumed you was a scientist, man.
Thank you. You actually got that right. A lot of people don't get that on the first try.
Well, I mean, you see somebody in a lab coat, obviously they're a scientist. Isn't that just the way it works?
Yeah, I'm a pharmacist, and I actually do a lot of work. So pulls out a business card. Y'all ever need like a prescription or anything? You come by this address and you hit me up. I will help you out.
Right on, man. Yeah, dude. I will definitely take that card. I'll take that card all day. You see him put it into his pocket. He's like, "Speaking of which, you got any prescriptions on you?"
Shit, let me check.
I just got $10 and it's burning a hole in my pocket.
Shit, actually, let me double check because. Let's see. What do I got? I should have some good stuff. I mean. Let's see. Oh wait, no, I gotta maximize this window. Yes.
Some dude just happened to give me $10, man. Well, it's my lucky day. You know.
Yeah. So I'll go through the list for this guy. So yeah. So I got some morphine. I got some methanol. I also got some cannabis.
Holy shit! He starts looking around as soon as you start talking. He's like, "I did not expect you to be that awesome."
Amphetamines, some steroids if you need that, and if you're feeling if you want to put a little bit more pep in your step, I also got some LSD and DMT.
He said,
Doesn't cause pep, but yeah.
If I give you $10, can you just give me a little bit of all that? I mean, I don't know, man. You're the scientist. Mix me a cocktail. I'll take whatever it is. It don't matter to me. He says,
"You know what? I think I'll give you some of the good stuff. How about a little bit of like trying to think of like, because as like a pharmacist, it's like I don't want to just give any random person a cocktail of drugs.
Right. As a suggestion for one that's like fairly calm would be just a light dose of acid and a light dose of. Do you have Molly? Or like MDMA?
Yeah. Yeah, you just said you did.
Yeah,
yeah, essentially, sure. I know we have like a list or whatever, but I think I'm trying to remember exactly what all we put on it, but yeah, like acid was definitely one of them. He definitely looks like the guy that would be into some acid, and maybe a little speed to put with it. This way he keeps going. You know what I mean? Keep him dancing. That's what I would assume. Something in that area.
So I'll mix like some like ketamine with some mushrooms, and that'll be the mixture.
Sure, man. He does not even question it. Just downs it. As soon as you hand it to him, he's like, man, I can feel the rainbow. Awesome. He's like, I love this. Second he eats it, he's excited. You know what I mean? He hasn't even given it time to kick in yet. But whatever the effects of those are, both of those effects are going to kick in quite well for him. But yeah, he's like, yeah, man. I tell you what. He says, I would stay away from those guys if I was you, but I mean, it ain't none of my business who you want to hang out with. But he says, I mean, they're usually around here. He says, if you want to, he says, I know one of them lives in that apartment building over there, upper floor, 3A.
3A. All right.
He
Thanks,
says,
pal.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not home. I definitely watched that guy ride down the street earlier, but that's where his house is.
Ah.
I mean, you wait on him.
And I'll say what I can do. But thank you for the information, man.
Hey, man, anytime. I will definitely be giving you a call, dude. Hey, it's good meeting you, man. And like, for the first time, he slows the motion down a little bit to put out a fist bump for you.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm right there with it.
Says, keep on slinging that science, Mad Doctor. I'll catch you later. And he just starts moonwalking down the street. He's out.
So what does
just
the
go
7
Dave.
dot thing do? Or 7 success thing do?
The 7 success thing do. Yeah, exactly. So taking a look around, you guys start making your way down through the streets, and you see a handful of, people wandering around everywhere, right? Let's see. A couple of the things that you do start to notice is that some of the people that are out here, that are mixed in amongst this group, you're not seeing a cache of weapons just sitting out by a dumpster somewhere, right? You're not finding the secret warehouse right there. But at the same time, you definitely do see that there are several people carrying what look to be newly fashioned weapons. One guy has definitely got a pistol tucked in the back of his waistband. The average person would not have spotted it, but you, being observant as you are easily able to catch almost every gun, knife, and bullet in this neighborhood. There is several shells that are laying on the streets, showing that there has been gunfire and battles out here in the middle of the road at some point in time. Like I said, you definitely see at least one guy that is currently, he's a very wild-eyed kind of character. He's not like crazy looking, but just very intensely staring almost directly at you, that's currently sitting on a stoop talking to another person at the time, and he keeps glancing your direction. But with that guy specifically, you would see a very nice brand new pistol that's been tucked into the back of his waistband. Some of the other things you see, since you did just roll so well with the streets, or streetwise, you're going to get a lot of street stuff as well. You can smell the smell of spray paint, which is typically correspondent to someone that is doing graffiti, and the sound is the sound of a shaking can stands out to you very well. You can absolutely hear that there is somebody spray painting behind the store, and they are currently there. After seeing the graffiti you did, it kind of may be, a correlation between the two. You would see, man, I'm trying to think of everything else. You're going to get a lot of info off of that roll, you know what I mean? There you go. There's something that you would be the only one to notice, is that there is actually a black car parked slightly up the road from the gas station or the convenience store, that has been pulled in between two cars. You notice there's a man sitting inside of it, and the second you see it, you say, that's a cop. That dude's a cop, and he is undercover. The car is unmarked. You know what I mean? There's no markings on the car, but it is absolutely a cop sitting right there. So yeah, that's just a couple of things that you would notice with that. I mean, but other than that, I mean, for the most part, it's just a neighborhood, right? There's people out here. There's people to talk to. You know what I mean? But as far as exactly, like, you're not finding a cache of guns. It's definitely not here. If it was here, you know what I mean, you would have found it. But you are seeing that some of those guns, at very least, have been distributed amongst people in this neighborhood.
Okay, it sounded like you said I saw two. One from the standing up and one with the guy on the stoop who's sitting with someone else.
Yeah, there's two guys sitting there on one guy's standing, the other guy's sitting on the stoop, and the wild-eyed guy kind of keeps looking back at you, and he definitely is the one with the gun tucked in the back of his pants. And then you would see the cop. Also, you hear the sound of somebody doing graffiti behind the building.
Okay, so there's only I only found one guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm trying to think. I could start adding in people.
Well, no, it sounded like you said it was two.
Right. I had a list of 20 people, but out of them, only like one or two of them would have actually been amongst that crowd to have a gun, right? But yeah,
we don't know if the
you would
person
definitely
spray
see
painting
that.
has a gun or not. They could very well still be packing.
Oh, you know what? The skater, you see attached to his belt is actually a rather large knife. So it kind of lends you to the idea that maybe he might also have something. You're not seeing a gun on him, but he does carry an incredibly large knife for a skater. It seems a little out of place. You know what I mean? That he has
falls.
Right? He's going to hurt himself. That's for sure. But yeah, that would be something that you would see.
I was going to say, okay, so let me see if I get this right. There's 3 guys on the stoop. One of them's looking over at us, and he's the one with the gun.
Yeah, correct.
The guy standing up. Okay, so we'll make our way over to those guys.
Okay, gotcha.
Get over there. Go ahead.
Let's see, where is it? Trying to keep my notes here. Yeah, so as you approach, you see the guy immediately takes a stance and he moves his back towards you. The other guy gets up, starts actually turning around to walk away, like he's just going to walk back in the apartment as you approach. And this guy, like I say, he turns his front to you, to where you're not seeing the gun behind his back, but you definitely see the hand kind of slide into his waistband a little bit, like he's holding on to it.
Yeah.
How you going, buddy? Can I help you with something?
I lift up my jacket just to show that I don't have anything and like do a little spin as I approach. I was like new in the neighborhood, and I was told this is where I'd go if I needed something to go with his belt.
Give me a persuasion roll on this. So let's see. How do you want to do it? Because that's definitely a bit of a subterfuge roll, right? Okay, you got that. I'm thinking subterfuge makes sense, unless you got something else there. So like charisma subterfuge, because you are looking at the streetwise. Actually, you know what? You can use your streetwise on this one too, because yeah, that definitely fits.
What else?
One like composure.
Composure.
Wits, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different variables, man. I'm never too picky on what you guys want to roll. I just base the description on what you roll. You know what I mean? As long as it makes sense. Sorry, what was that? Difficulty? Just make it a difficulty of 2, because you've already done some legwork with that last roll, right? You know what I mean? You know who to talk to and who not to. 2 more successes, right on. Yeah. So when you take a look at him, you see the wild, crazy eyes with this intense stare. Like at first, it's a very, like just looking through you type of thing. Like he's trying to mean mug you. He's trying to mean mug you yesterday. You know what I mean? He's trying to make it go back. But as you say, like, look, you give him a full spin. You tell him, look, man, I'm just looking to buy. You know what I mean? What are you looking for, man? I might know where to find some things like that.
Well, I don't know you don't know me. Let's start off light.
Fair
Something
enough.
I can hold.
What was that last part?
Something I can hold.
Something you hold. He takes a look around. Come on up. And he actually takes a few steps up onto the porch. He says, I don't know if you noticed it, but that guy over there's a cop. And points at the car across the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some cop.
Yeah, so he takes a step up, just 2 steps onto this, porch, more or less, where there's a couple of columns on the front of an apartment building. And he takes a stance behind one, and he pulls out the gun that he actually had behind his waist. He pops the clip out of it and racks it back, discharges a round as it was loaded, and then hands the gun to you. He says, something like this?
We can make that work. You got a couple more?
I only got this on me. I know where to get things. This would be about $1.50 if you want this. Anyone else? You know, you want some more? I could make it work.
Yeah, I'm not rolling by myself, so what else you got for me?
He says, well, you know, it's not really me that has them. I'm just, you know, playing middleman here, but I know some guys that might, you know some things. I'd have to make a call, see if I can get in touch with them. See if we can figure something out.
Cost?
Sorry, what was that?
How much does the number cost?
Huh? The number itself? Oh man.
Save you some time.
Double the price on that gun.
All right.
Says, I ain't trying to get myself killed over nothing.
If the number don't work, I know where to find you.
Fair enough. Yeah, if you're willing to go 300 on it, then he'll give you the gun and the phone number. You know what I mean? Or you could just buy the phone number. He take his gun back. He don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, he takes out a. You got a phone?
I'll just write it down.
All right. He does pull out his own phone. You see it's a little flip phone, like obviously a burner, you know, crush it and run type phone. And he starts rattling off a number to you. He says, that's Tony. He says, he's the loudest and proudest of the bunch. He's the one that's usually willing to talk to a stranger. He said, I think he's your best bet if you're looking to meet someone on the inside. He says, do you even know where you're at? He said, there a reason you came here? You don't know anybody from around here? I've never seen you before, man.
Nah, friend up the way told me this is where to go. Like I said, new in town, did some big business out of town, and trying to get started up.
He says, well, I'll tell you what, you call that number, the guy will be able to help you out with what you want, but he's probably going to want more than what you're asking. So just keep it in mind. You know, I know people. I take care of the neighborhood. They work with me, but I don't know how he'll respond to you. But you do your thing, man. And kind of just like he's just like I don't want nothing to do with this. If I don't have anything to do with it, I'm gonna try and stay out of it as best as I can.
Don't worry, I don't even know your name to mention it.
Let's keep it that way. I don't need to know you either, man. He says, I'll just warn you though, you know, don't make any deals that you can't pay for. These guys mean business. If you're looking to get involved in some trouble, they'll bring plenty of trouble your way, man. But you know, don't get yourself into anything that I wouldn't do. Either way, I'm feeling naked out on the streets now. If you're taking that with you, I'm gonna head home.
All right.
And you see him immediately, you know, gather up whatever drink he had sitting there with him. He had just like a cup, you know, grabs it up, picks it up, and he walks inside the building. As he walks in, you definitely take a look at like the front of the building. There's a set of windows. There's definitely like an old man that's just sitting there in the window that keeps peeking out and occasionally looking your direction. But you know, other than that, that's about all you would see here.
Right.
Was Numar creeping throughout all this? Just like
that's a very good point. Yeah, Numar is right here for all of this. Shit, I totally forgot.
I would have let him walk ahead when he interacted with the guy.
Right. So yeah, so you kind of let him step forward and interact with this guy individually. While you do, you definitely take, and after he was able to make note of it and point it out to you, you've definitely taken note that cop in the car, the unmarked car, is definitely continuously looking in your direction. And whenever Jamal steps up onto the porch. He's trying his best to see what's going on there, but definitely loses sight. The other guy knew the perfect line of sight to get out of the way. But yeah, definitely is keeping an eye on you, but he's actually paying you less attention than he is just kind of keeping an eye on the streets and, you know, the neighborhood itself. Almost like he's looking for somebody himself. But yeah.
So when Jamal gets back, I'll probably ask him, did you learn anything from that guy?
I got a number from what sounds like who sells out here.
You did.
So we're buying guns now?
Yeah, you definitely just saw. For the record, you just bought a really decent 9mm pistol, but the serial numbers have absolutely been filed off of this thing.
No, we're not. We had to meet the local talent so we could find out where we're going to get the guns from. So again, yeah, okay, yeah, we bought one.
That's cool, I guess.
It's an investment.
What do you make of that guy in the car?
Oh, you saw that? Yeah, that's a guy. We kind of got to stay low. Yeah.
And should we care?
No, we're on our way out of here. Why you want to mess with me?
I mean, we saw you. I don't know. Do you think he saw you do anything?
No, we should have been out of sight like at the top of the stoop. We should be good.
Cool. I don't know. I might know our faces, but what are they gonna do? Take a picture?
Good point. Try explaining that back in the precinct.
That's very smart.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to go gather up the rest of what they got for us?
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Let's go.
We walk over to whoever's closest.
All right. Yeah, making your way back. This is probably around the time both. Yeah, you're probably seeing Snowcone walk away from a rather unusual guy that leaves by way of moonwalk, and Bart stepping away from a guy that is playing a couple of drums on some buckets as you approach. So,
or at this point,
yeah.
he was packing too. And,
yeah, he did a little bit more after you had stepped away, and then began packing up his stuff. Yeah, he was just kind of finishing his performance.
I would say approaching. It doesn't seem like who we're looking for is around here right now.
You spent about an hour, you know, talking to different people in the neighborhood, you know, stuff like that. Total between walking around and talking to people, you might have spent an hour, you know.
I got a location on one person, apartment nearby, like an apartment like 3A, and then some information about where they hang out. It's like a gas station outside of the overpass.
You guys are standing directly outside of that gas station.
Oh, yeah. So they hang out around here.
Yeah, this was the gas station. He said that there was some shit started in here earlier, and the attendant was yelling at them on their way out the door. So.
You want to go check out the apartment?
Sure.
They're not there, so they're probably not gonna mind us popping our heads in.
Uh-huh.
Very true.
Just for fun. Is there a way for me to sneak up around back?
Sneak around the backside of the building?
No, the cop car.
Oh, behind the cop car. Sorry, I just started to sneak around the back. Yeah. If you wanted to try and pull that off, you know what I mean? He's just sitting parked between two cars that are parked parallel on the street. So, like, you could essentially go around behind a couple of buildings, walk around the block, and come up behind him pretty easy.
Right.
You know, it'd take you a couple of minutes just to walk around the block, but yeah, once you get, once you go left or right, it's city streets, it's broken into grids. So once you get around the block and move your way around, you can easily come up behind him if you wanted to and stealth up on the car.
All right, so I'm gonna come back. You said his window was down. He's looking around.
Yes.
So I come through the window, and I'm like, "Excuse me, officer, is this not a safe neighborhood?"
I don't know who you are or what your problem is, but just keep moving. And keep that officer business to yourself. I could take you in for trying to cause me any trouble here.
I like slam on the top of the car twice while I'm walking away, and just say like, "Thank you, officer."
Let's see. He would step out of the car at that point.
Oh no.
Yeah, you
Oh,
actually
no.
you hear him get out of the car. He says, "Listen here. What the fuck's your problem?" He says,
I'm
"Come
like
here. Let me see some
facing him, like
ID."
walking backwards. What's the problem?
He says, "Obviously, I'm sitting here not look. I'm not seeing any tags on you. I don't see anything that stands out. You're not the person I'm here to look for, but I am obviously here doing something I don't need to be disturbed while doing, and none of these people need to know about. So you beating on the top of my car and screaming this, I am fully aware what you're accomplishing here. It's pretty obvious. So which one of these assholes are you affiliated with that you want to try and bring me problems? Because I swear to God, if I see a fucking so much as a motorcycle boot on you, I will put it under you."
I should be far enough away that I can like ignore it and keep walking away.
Yeah, if you just want to keep walking.
Yeah, I never like I was backing away then.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
He
once I
says,
get to far enough distance, I apologize. Saying officer again.
yeah. Fucking assholes. You see him just kind of get back and he gets in his car and he slams the door and he actually does pull out at that point. He's like, well, fuck, my cover's blown. You know what I mean? You see him just drive off. And actually, even as he goes by you, he just puts up the middle finger. You know what I mean? He doesn't even care. He just flips you
Sorry,
off as he goes through.
Jake.
And I get back to the group, and I'm like, all right, let's go check out that apartment.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
There you go. Yep, that's one less cop in the neighborhood. Yeah, you guys make your way to the apartment. Again, it's like you're in like a just on a city block, you know what I mean? A block or two here. So it's right next to the convenience store that you were just standing at. There is an apartment building. And it has like 3 or 4 floors as you go in. There's an elevator sign that says out of order, obviously, and then it says stairs right next to it. Handful of mailboxes, things like that. And you do see that as you pass by the mailboxes that there is an apartment 3A as far as that goes. The door on that one is actually still hanging halfway off. It's not just hanging open, but it's hanging halfway off, and there is like 2 coupons in there from some fast food chain that sent something, but it does not look like this mailbox in particular has gotten mail in a while. But you make your way up to the 3rd floor, presumably, and you find that there is a door marked 3A, and it is, of course, locked when you get there. But
Well, I will lockpick it with
Nice.
hopefully cover from my comrade.
Nice.
So
Go ahead and
the
just
door
start.
that's half off.
No, sorry, that was the mailbox door for 3A.
Okay.
They get those little like square mailboxes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For some reason 3A's looked intentionally damaged. Like
I did
don't
think-
want mail, break the door. You know what I mean?
I did think that he meant the original like apartment door at first too.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, I was talking about the little mailbox door on the one for 3A. And like I said, you see like 2 or 3 little coupons in there. There's a collection of dust. Does not look like this particular apartment gets a lot of mail.
Yo, on the way out, I'm snatching them coupons just to be an asshole.
It's like, those are my coupons. You now have 2 expired coupons for a chicken place and a pizza joint.
Yeah, someone can use them. They some places will still take them.
Hey, you never know, man. There's a 2-for-1 special on deep dish right now. I'm taking that shit.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but you grab those coupons for sure. But yeah, as you make your way up the stairs, like I said, it's not a very nice apartment, a little bit rickety. You get to the top and you do get to the apartment that is 3A and begin lockpick. Just immediately drop down and lockpick the door.
Can I
Okay.
get a +1 from either the assistance of the crew or also the specialty I have in stealth for break-in.
Yeah, I would say that makes sense, right?
It's kind of
Yeah.
between the two things there.
I
don't
want
think either
to
of them are
does
exactly
anybody
applicable,
else does anybody else have like larceny or anything like that, by the way?
I have a couple points on that too.
Okay, so yeah, you might have to be doing a little coaching, like no, a little bit. No, yeah, move it
I don't
up.
think
Okay,
he needs
you
to
got
do
it.
any coaching.
Oh Jesus! Look at this shit.
Shit.
Fucking hell, bruh.
I was just thinking to get the +1 was the coaching point, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
whatever advice he gives is unnecessary. As you
I think it's
immediately
just a
click into
shitty
this
lock at
thing.
the end of the day. It was just a quick jiggle
It's
and boom.
it is a pretty shitty lock. You're right about that, and the door immediately pop. It comes open at just a couple of jiggles of your tools.
But with
And-
something like this, can I at least ask, am I also able to like look for traps within this? Like I still
So
Don't-
let's see. What exactly did you roll? Larceny and wits. Okay. So one thing that you do notice that since you have some wits in there mixed with it, the larceny portion is of course easy, and the door clicks open. You don't see any traps. You don't see any spring wires, anything like that seems to be tied to the door. There's no shotgun that's going to blast you in the face. But one thing that you immediately catch wind of is the smell of dog. As soon as you open that, it begins to crack. You can immediately smell dog inside of this place.
I don't have a good solution for if one is in residence, but
Anybody got chocolate?
you would be the one with chocolate of this, but
Hey, I don't have chocolate chip cookies. Remember, I have oatmeal raisin.
Yeah, I don't think the dog would want that.
I think it might just be killing a dog if like one pops up. Guess we're entering.
Oh wait. Oh, could we use maybe we could use dominate on the dog.
Go for it.
Yeah, maybe.
Dominate a dog.
Yes, I am the alpha.
Does that work? I don't know. I don't
yeah,
think. I don't think. I think
into
it's. I think it
rules of that.
specifically says on mortals or kindred, but I'm not sure. I never thought about
I think
it.
an animal would classify as immortal though.
That's what I was saying.
No.
Like technically, I don't know. No,
Ugh.
I'd have to look it up. Yeah. I'll take
to
your
the
word for
GM.
it. I'll take your word for it on that. For the time being, because I'm really not sure. I never thought of it. But yeah. So are you just going head on in, or how do you approach this situation?
Still
So-
cautiously, I guess I'm not going to brazenly walk through this place that I have never been in before, but
Right.
I'm breaking in. This is something that I have done before in the past, so let's go look for like guns and other things.
You pop open the door and peek your head inside. You definitely see that there is a trashed, pretty ratty apartment on the inside of this doorway, as far as that goes. Again, the smell of like wet dog or animal is pretty heavily in the air when you come in. It's definitely kind of a foul smelling apartment as far as that goes. And it seems to be empty at the moment.
Cool.
Alright. Look around.
Yeah.
All right.
Rummage quickly.
Somebody want to watch the door?
Sure.
Gotcha. Close the door behind
That's
you.
a good idea.
Relock it to keep it locked while you guys are inside, and you begin rummaging around. Let's see. You know what? I'm not even going to make you guys. Go ahead. Let's do a full round of wits and awareness again, just to see what you guys can find, or wits investigation if you want to. And if you're trying to do something like that, if anybody has anything special they're looking for as far as that goes, let me know. But let's just see how well you guys can strip search a shitty apartment. It is a pretty small apartment. It's an efficiency apartment. Shouldn't take you very long as far as that goes. Investigation 3. Nice. Let's see. All right, we got investigation 3. Wits and awareness 4. Wits awareness 2.
Jamal and Bart still carrying this, but that's okay.
All right, so making your way inside, handful of different things that you find. Both Numar and Snowcone. You guys see that there is a lot of beer bottles that are strung around the place. As far as that goes, they seem to be incredibly stale, though, like they've been around for a while. Uh, but let's see, what else would you kind of casually find? Actually, with 2 successes, both of you guys find a couple of different weapons. So you pop open a drawer, you find a pistol. You pop open another drawer, you find that there's a rather large knife inside of it, right? You find next to the bed, there's a little nightstand there, and inside of that nightstand, you would find yet another pistol and a set of brass knuckles that are you're just laying inside the drawer, and a handful of ammo that's scattered around, mixed in amongst it. There's not a lot of personal effects. You're seeing mostly like a handful of shirts and things like that in the closet, and a trashed apartment otherwise.
Did she bring like a bag to carry all this in?
Stitches is still currently out talking to homeless people.
Son of a bitch.
Harry, whatever. Just a couple
Nobody
of
ever asked about grabbing her, so she's still out talking to homeless people.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I'll totally
forget
be
her.
fine.
See, Bart, one of the things that you notice right off the bat is that you just casually checking around the apartment, you start rummaging through the kitchenette area. It's right there attached to the living room. Kind of like it's like an efficiency. There's a bedroom, a small bedroom, a bathroom, and everything else is pretty much open.
Yep.
You realize that there is very little cutlery. There might be like a fork and a bent spoon. And
Oh
as you
wow, it's
open the
almost like
fridge-
people live here that don't eat. Gee,
As
wow.
you as I was say, as you open the fridge, there is nothing inside of it.
Damn it, no blood bags. Anything in the freezer.
Let's see. No, nothing in the freezer either. Yeah, I don't think you would find any blood bags here either. But yeah, it pretty much empty for the most part. There's a jar of mayonnaise that looks like it has long since been expired as far as that goes. That should have been thrown out probably years ago. But yeah, you would definitely notice on top of the guns and things that they spot, there's a handful of bills that are attached to the name. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is specifically Tony. It says Tony Toronto is the name. Yeah, very Italian name, right?
I think Toronto's French.
Toronto probably is. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of this, the Tony part.
Soprano?
I was thinking of what's the... it doesn't matter. I was thinking of the name from the Fast and the Furious movies. What was that guy's name? The main character.
Dom Toretto.
Toretto. That's what I was... There it is. Tony Toretto. That's your answer.
I like Toronto better.
Yeah, Tony Toronto. I like it. We'll stick with that. Yeah, so you find a handful of different bills that are associated to that person. Let's see. Also, same for you, Jamal, as well. You find the same things, lack of food. You see that there are paw prints on the floor that are in a couple of spots that are kind of stomped into the dust that do look like a pit bull or rather large Rottweiler sized dog that's been in here. You know what, actually they're probably even bigger than that. This is almost unnaturally sized large, so you're thinking maybe something like a Great Dane type of dog that's been in this area. And mixed in amongst the bills, one of the things that you would find is there is a handful of receipts to a shipping warehouse for cargo shipments being moved out. And the warehouse is 5-10 minutes down the street.
A plot thread. E.
Yeah, congratulations, you found a quest item. It's gold, it blinks. You know what I mean? When you pick it up, it goes bloop, bloop. You know.
Won't let you drop it.
But yeah, that would be something that stands out to you is like in addition to what the other guys found, you know, handful of clothes, empty fridge, very little cutlery, couple of guns, couple of knives, set of brass knuckles, a baseball bat that has been outfitted with a piece of chain and several spikes, and you know, all the different you know, bills for this apartment that are seemingly are slightly behind, but one of the things that have been paid is shipping receipts where something has been shipped by cargo truck out of town. It actually is heading to probably, we'll say south. It might be to Texas.
Get some pictures of these the warehouse invoices.
Cool. You can absolutely do so. Actually, can you? How do you do that?
I can, because
Yeah,
I
I
have
will say
phone.
you can't. Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bart can definitely take the pictures for you. But other than that, you don't find anything else. There's no sign of the animal that you smell. That's obviously smellable in here. But other than that, you find those things.
All right, leave everything around here. Let's get out of here.
Oh,
Make it look like we weren't here. Let's go check out this place. We're not looking to get on anybody's radar.
There you go. As you make your way out of the apartment, you definitely see that, you know, you make your way out, you close the door behind you, and, you know, you take a look left and right, you close the door, you turn left again, and all of a sudden there is a man peeking out of his doorway that is currently looking directly at you and your group. And he says, Hey, you don't belong here. That's not your apartment. Who are you guys?
I'll step in and do something about that.
hmm?
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm-
like the looks of you guys. You look like street thugs.
Yeah.
You're not.
I'm gonna look at this person dead in the eyes, and for this, I'm gonna use cloud memory finally, so that way they can forget what they just saw.
Nice. Yeah. You see him just kind of blank. And after a second, he shakes it off. And he looks around like almost a little confused that he's standing in the hallway. But then immediately then again asks.
Well, we proceed to move at the blanking. We don't stand there.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say the rest of you move. But yeah, if you all move away, then no notice. But yeah, otherwise he would just be like, "What are you doing in my hallway? Get out of here!" You know what I mean? He wouldn't remember the door, but he'd still see, you know, maybe you guys leave. You definitely would notice probably like a crotchety old man that's just like, damned kids running around the hallways with their shenanigans. But yeah, you cloud his memory. He has no recollection of you guys being in that apartment for sure. You begin making your way down the stairs and outside of the building. Nailed it. You nailed it. As soon as you guys come out of the building, you are immediately met up with so what'd you fuckheads find? From your Nosferatu friend?
We got
Guys acquire anything?
receipts.
Yeah, we have a pretty good
Yeah.
idea of where they're at.
That seems about as useful as you'd be worth. Receipts. Okay.
And
Well.
we got 2 coupons.
So
Oh
you
yeah, and
said-
guns and shit. Like I
Yeah.
show the bag. We're like a fifth of the way there.
What bag? You weren't supposed to take the guns.
Oh, I thought we were taking the guns.
I said
You took the guns?
Yeah.
everyone heard that.
You did mention the leave it like we found it, so sure,
It's entirely up to you.
we did that. Yeah, I
Did
think
you-
so.
Yes, you did.
Were there any real good ones? Bart would
I
be the
mean-
type to be tempted by still something that's snazzy.
I mean, for the most part, what you found laying in there was pretty average. You know, 9mm, they were brand new.
Yeah.
They were like new guns. Definitely had serial numbers filed off of all of them. You know what I mean?
I'm good.
Pretty crudely too. Like it was not
Uh-huh.
well done. You know, so nothing worth getting excited about. That's for sure. But yeah, as she takes a look, she says, "Well, if you know where they're at, where are they? I could tell you, but I want to see what you found out."
And so, do we have access to Google Maps? I My phone's maybe like base smartphone where it's like barely able to get something that would resemble a GPS on it.
I have had some really terrible phones that still had Google Maps, so I would say so.
You already invited someone who wants to hurt you, which was mistake number one. Why would you tell them where the guns are when we haven't got them yet, and we're working on commission?
We're just kind of going together, I thought. We were going to beat some ass, right?
No one knows why you made that plan.
In all fairness, at this point, watching how incompetent he is at working, I really don't feel like he's worth me beating his ass anymore, if that's anything.
Oh, are we on speaker or something now?
But on speakers, I think I heard a little bit of
that
it.
was a thing mentioned maybe in the car.
We were
whatever.
Yeah. Oh, no. She wasn't talking about that. She was just talking about the fact, like, you two sitting there arguing with each other in front of the building a little bit. She honestly probably didn't see anything. She's just being a smartass. You know what I mean? She's just making assumptions that none of you were able to do anything. You got receipts? What are those good for? What you got? Pizza? Domino's?
Chicken.
Warehouses.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Well, tell me something. Either way, I got a homeless guy that says he can take us to him.
Where's it at?
I asked him. He said it was someplace a couple blocks down, but he didn't tell me exactly where. He just said he'd take us there if we paid him $20.
Well, we found homeless guys too.
I mean, there's lots of them around here.
It's a warehouse on, let me say the name of the street.
Yeah.
That would make sense, right? They got the boxes they took rather large, so. Well, are we going to go kill somebody or what?
I gotta go get your guns.
Yeah, that was a bit of an escalation. I thought it was beating ass.
I mean, whichever, right? Usually beating ass leads to killing.
I mean, if they all have guns, are we going to be prepared for it?
Not my problem. And you see her just kind of throw her helmet back on her head and start walking back towards her bike.
Should have taken the guns.
Should have taken the guns. I had made mention at one point that if you guys, felt that your character would have a gun, you know what I mean? You can have any basic, weapons that you wanted.
Yeah, I was thinking about swiping, like, since I'm not good with guns, I was thinking about swiping, like, either the brass knuckles or the knife back in the apartment, but then I thought better of it.
This is entirely up to you.
Yeah.
Depending on how well you deal with these guys. Depending on how well you deal with these guys,
Yeah, I can improvise a weapon. I could probably just grab, like, a piece of, like, I don't know, there's probably like a crate around here or something, and then just, like, rip off a piece of plank from there and then just use that as a bat.
You could definitely get a plank of wood if you want. There's a lot of trash and refuse. There's a big stick. You know what I mean? You can get a big stick if you want.
Is it a cool looking stick?
I mean, it's probably what I'm trying to think of. Let's see. You know what? I'm just thinking. I must be thinking New York, because like, what trees do you have in California, man? Is it just? I'm imagining nothing but palm trees, right? Do you have like oak? That's what I was thinking. Like an oak tree, right?
They're all regular trees.
Okay. Yeah. Redwood. That's funny.
But
yeah, no. You just find like I was trying to think. What's the white? Yeah, I think it's white. I think it's oak that has kind of like that smooth bark to it, and it's almost like white in color whenever the branches. Birch. Thank you. That's it. Yeah, you'd find like a nice piece of birch. It's still heavy. Like it's a decent sized branch that you could use to wield like a bat, and it's smooth enough to where it's wieldable. I guess it's not the best weapon you could have, but it's a weapon for sure. What about the rest of you?
The Redwood Forest.
So I know that Jamal just purchased himself a nice gun, and when you bought it, he did also hand over the clip, which is filled. By the way, Numar, do you carry any sort of weaponry?
I think I had a knife listed on my character sheet, but I think at this point I just have like a screwdriver from when I was doing some tinkering this morning.
Immediately I thought to myself, what kind of gadgets and gizmos would he put together, like mad science style? You know what I mean? That would be like, do you have like a homemade taser?
Oh,
That's up
not
to
yet.
you.
Not
Not
yet.
yet. Okay, not yet. Fair enough. Ideas for later, though. I'm just imagining he's like built his
Yeah.
own stun gun or cattle prods. You know what I mean? He's getting creative. He's got a shitload of D-cell batteries hooked up to a string or a piece of wire. But yeah, okay. At that point, she just heads back to her motorcycle. She says, well, if you know where it's at, lead the way. You know, if you told her roughly where it was. You know, you said you specifically didn't mention the name of the street, just that it was a warehouse and the name of it. I don't think she would know it right off the top of her head, you know what I mean, being in a different part of town. But she is more than happy to follow you in pursuit if you guys want to go crack some skulls.
Yeah.
Or you could try a different approach, whichever approach you want.
We'll go check it out.
Balance feels like
I mean, I'm all for not walking right into this one. I know that's kind of been our trend the last few locations.
That's pretty good. Well,
Maybe take this one easier.
This is absolutely you tell me what your approach is, but you know where the warehouse is and that allegedly these guys are currently there. You're not sure how many of them are there. You were told that there's like 30 of them in the you know, the total gang or whatever you want to call it. But you know, there's also probably 20 or 30 of the Midnight Marauders, the bike gang that you initially encountered, but you only saw 5 of them when you were, or 4 of them when you were at the garage. So you're not sure how many are currently with them, but yeah, you tell me how you approach this, because she follows behind your van on the motorcycle, you know, so it's rather loud, and you guys have the van full of people. How would you like to approach this warehouse?
What a lot to look like.
Yeah, first scope out the area.
Okay.
From there, I have unseen passage, so I can lead the way, essentially being the person to open doors and shit.
If you guys do make your way down through that area, you do see that it is a shipping warehouse. It is probably actually for like a clothing store, you know, or a small what do you call those? Kind of like Gabriel Brothers, if you have that or whatever. You know, it's they have a variety of different junk that they sell, you know, secondhand, like overstock store. That's what I'm thinking of, like overstocked goods and things. It's not like a Walmart or something big. But yeah, as you pull up, you drive past initially, and you see that the front of the warehouse is there. It looks pretty dead at this time of night. There is one office window that you can see open right there in the front of the building, and there is a light on leading in the front door as if this place is open 24/7, but now has a very skeleton crew that's working the office portion. As you go by and make a turn to go kind of around the block, you would notice that Stitches keeps going ahead, and you would actually see her start to pull over and get off the road as well. She didn't want to keep circling the building, it would seem. You make a loop around the building, and as you guys are driving around the backside, you would see this. As you're coming around the back, you kind of move through this alleyway, and it's a little unusual as you come through here because it is kind of a non like public area a little bit. I'm assuming you guys, you know, take the block to where you're just looking down the alleyway, and you do see that parked down at the end of that alleyway behind the warehouse, you do see that there's a truck currently loaded up against the back of the building, still half open, that there's a garage door, you can see light pouring out of it, and that there is several figures standing there around the truck, and a dozen motorcycles, four-wheelers, and even a side-by-side that are currently parked down in that area.
This is a lot of people.
So we're going in loud.
We gotta
You're
Zoom
probably
right now.
seeing in the area of like 8 people. But the angle that you're catching it at, you're not sure how many of them are dock workers or how many of them are the people you're there for, but you definitely see at least 2 or 3 bikes, another quad, and then a side by side. If you would like, it's up to you. I'll leave this up to you guys. It is right now 12:10. This is kind of the end of our general time. So if you want, you guys can decide now your approach, and then we'll pick it up from there next time. Or we could say, as you drive past, you see the people, and we'll leave it there, giving you guys the entire week to plan. You tell me. Do you want to go in with the first thought, or do you want to have a little bit of time to think about it? Because I don't want to keep you guys. Yeah, I don't want to
Thinking
keep you
about it
guys
seems
too
like
late.
a better option.
Gotcha. Yeah, you definitely see that as so. We'll go ahead and kind of bring it to a conclusion there. Yeah, as you kind of go around the block, like I said, you're looking between buildings, so you do not get a great shot on it. This way, you're not having to go right through the back parking lot where they are. But you do see that there is about like a 15-foot box truck that you see people currently loading crates onto, and moving them into the box truck itself. You see a handful of guys, thin guys with riding clothes on. You can't tell exactly how many, but definitely at least 4 or 5 of them are wearing riding clothes or some sort of like tight-fitting blue jeans and ragged shirts or vests, things like that. You would assume them not to be the dock workers. And then mixed in with some of those, you can also see some guys that are wearing like orange suits. That, reflective suits, like they're probably, like a gray or black or something, but with reflective gear on them to not get ran over in this back lot, that are currently loading the weapons into the back of the truck. It's pretty obvious that those are probably the crates that you're looking for. But they are, one of the main things that I think you guys would notice is as you're making that final pass, is you definitely see that at least one of them is standing there holding it like an AK in his hand currently, watching over the people that are loading things into the back of the truck. And as you make
Only
your way
one of
back,
them is armed?
that's all you see. They may all be armed. You're not sure. You know that they also have crates full of weapons right in front of them. But you definitely see one guy's openly brandishing like an AK, or like an
Just
SKS,
easy place
something
to
like
start.
that. And as you make your way back around the building the second time to kind of get a better judgment on it, you see that Stitches is currently leaned out looking to get in your van. And that's where we'll leave it. This way you guys can plot your entry next week, and we'll get in there. Initially, we were going to have time to get through all of it, you know what I mean? But fuck you, Streamlabs. Fuck you. Again, I really apologize for it, guys. I know that we did get like a 2-hour late start. We're kind of cutting off in the middle of the session, but we'll pick up here next week as these guys get ready to go face down a group of potentially deadly bikers, right? Or dirt bikers, whatever you call that. Yeah, dirt bikers. I like it. But yeah,
Good game, y'all.
Again, it's kind of unfortunate, Streamlabs would not let us go live, and I apologize for that. But we'll try to make up for it next week by moving through things. The guy with the AK is standing on the loading dock next to several of the workers. And it seems like the workers are either maybe under duress or at very least okay with the guy. There's a guy with an AK standing right there amongst them, watching them load stuff into the truck. You know what I mean? So it's hard to tell if they've taken over this warehouse, if it's a hostage situation. You don't know if they're working for them. It's completely unknown at this point. But that is all stuff that we can, try to investigate next week as you guys make your sneaky approach or whatever approach you make into the thing. Let me go ahead and see. Damn, ad break just started at the worst possible time. I was just about to make my exit. But let me go ahead and shit. I kind of want to wait for the ad break to end. Usually I would skip it, but I didn't see it getting ready to start. But yeah, you guys were able to, let me just do a recap and then we'll finish out so everybody can hear the outro. You guys were able to, negotiate some sort of terms that worked more in your favor with the Midnight Marauders. That was definitely a helpful thing. I know that
Thank you,
Bart
Jamal.
has had some interest in the idea of maybe getting to know some of these guys. You definitely know that the Midnight Marauders are known for being information brokers. Anything that goes on the streets, these guys are typically aware of it, and they buy and sell and trade in the stocks of information as far as that goes. You guys were able to make your way down to the area where these pit fighters are known to hang out and investigate the neighborhood. You talk to some interesting characters as far as that goes, but ultimately you were able to find that there's a number of them, how many of them there are roughly in the group, that they had went that way within 3 hours, etc. You found all the fun stuff that you had found. Excuse me. I love the work of getting rid of the cop. That was my personal favorite, is getting the cop out of the neighborhood. I was curious if you guys were going to approach the cop and try to, gain information from him, or end up, pissing him off, or what. I was curious how that worked out. But no, that was a real clever way of getting rid of the cop. This way it was one less problem to deal with. But yeah, between her description saying that apparently they're at a warehouse 3 blocks down, this guy will give us, take us there for $20, and the warehouse receipts, it just confirmed that this is definitely the right location. And then as you made your way around the block, it definitely confirmed it even further, for sure. I'm trying to give it another 50 seconds, guys. I'm just waiting for the ad break to end before I say our goodbyes or whatever. But anyway, let me go ahead and I will go ahead and take an opportunity to say thank you to, I know I'm Guapardophile. I know I'm messing that up. I want to know how you say it. You're going to
what was the rumor?
You're going to have to give it to me. The rumor was given to you that there is a rumor going around that the Inquisition or military guys, in the area, as it was told to you, have been working on some sort of super powerful weapon that's
scary. Cool.
Specifically meant for killing kindred. That is the new rumor. Yeah, if you guys want to check those out, you can find all the rumors on the Ko-Fi page and keep them up to date. But yeah, I made sure to actually get this one directly to you. It was just such a perfect opportunity too, is like at the exact moment that we were having the discussion, it was right there. So I took the opportunity to go ahead and get that rumor in there. It was quite a good rumor, by the way. You guys definitely want to start adding evidence to these rumors. The more evidence we can add to them, the quicker we can get them in, and they'll become like actual truth in the game. It's typically whichever one has the most evidence, but it's not always. I will make it, one of the rumors become true, and it'll be the one that makes the most sense at the time. You know what I mean? That's the information I give you, but just keep adding evidence. This way you got more details, we got more content, more story, more NPCs related to it, more places related to it, people, places, things. That's a great thing for evidence. But now that the commercial's over, let me go ahead and say what I have to say. Again, that's where we're going to wrap up for the week. We'll pick up here next session where we actually go in and try and infiltrate this situation and see what you guys can do about retrieving these guns. I do want to say thank you to everyone that did follow, subscribe, donate, all the things that came in. Again, I know I'm destroying your name, but that was an incredible rumor. In just case anyone needed to hear it again, the rumor was that there are rumors of a powerful new weapon that the hunters are using to track and kill vampires more effectively, if you want to hear it specifically how it was written. So yeah, that's a
It just added onto the scary, yeah. Made up much worse. Cool.
Track and kill more effectively. So yeah, some
especially
powerful
since
weapon.
it's hunters.
Yeah, hunters. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's Inquisition, guys.
I don't think it'd be any better if the werewolves figured out some technology to hunt down and kill us quicker. Like that might even be worse. Like I would rather have hunters going after us compared to werewolves with seeking tech.
Werewolves with vampire seeking bullets. Yeah, that's that does sound a lot worse actually, now that you mention it.
Bust
But
out the
yeah,
bio freaks.
well, they are kind of like the werewolves in World of Darkness are kind of steampunky, man, or not steampunky, like cyberpunky. You know what I mean? So like I kind of get that vibe. Yeah, but either way, I just want to say thank you to everybody that added, evidence, added rumors, that anyone that subscribed. Those guys, the subscriptions, the donations, any of these things, like the adding rumors or giving these guys +1 to their dice rolls. That stuff is helping us so much right now. I've made mention multiple times that I love doing these games, but it is only possible thanks to all the stuff that you guys do to keep this channel running. You know what I mean? I'm here 7 days a week. If we want to be able to do that much gaming and content, me to be able to write 2-3 campaigns a week, you know what I mean? It does require all of my time, and you guys are keeping my lights on so that I can continue to provide this content. And I know that I'm super thankful, and I'm sure these guys are thankful because they get to play here every week, for you guys that are helping us do that. So yeah, if you haven't donated already and you have the ability, consider it. It really does. Every dollar goes so far. It just adds up. It keeps the lights on and it keeps us moving. Internet and electricity, those are the two big ones, right? But let me go ahead and go around the table. We'll let all of our players say their final outros, and then we'll close it down for a little while. I will get to come back tonight and play some Blood Hunt, so you guys will see me here in a bit. Now that I got my monitor, finally, that was another expense that we didn't need this week. We really didn't. Just paid for the monitor, now we get an electric bill to deal with. But anyway, let me go ahead and pass it on while you guys are considering whether or not you can afford a dollar donation. Jamal, let's start with you. You want to say your goodbyes, or what do you got? What do you got for this episode, man? Lay it on me.
Nothing exciting. Glad we got some stuff done. See how we finish it off next week.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious to see how you guys make the entry. I love that the first thing you said was like, let's take our time on this one. You know what I mean? Because that just means we can get into kind of like a real tactical infiltration situation. I kind of like the idea of that. Get all MI6 up in this place. But sweet. Let's see, Snowcone. What about you, my man?
I'm just gonna wish everybody to sleep well, and just let everybody know I also do graphic design
Yep.
at my free time when I'm not playing with these awesome people here. So if you want to commission me for some graphic design work, I'm available on Fiverr or on Upwork. So check me out if you got the time.
I absolutely am working right now on getting a link for that so that we got that for you in the chat. Copy, paste.
Broke our views of us here, except for Jive. Like,
I wonder if we could
Right
pay
there it
those
is.
guys off.
Awesome. So yeah, there is currently a link for that. Sorry, I'm messing up everybody's camera, but yeah, there's a link to Jobman's contact. I forget which one that one's for. That's for Upwork. So yeah, head there. He does freelance work. He does some awesome stuff. I've checked it out the other day. If you guys need any work done, in the graphic area, there's your guy. Paul, what about you, man? Final thoughts? Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say?
nothing to plug. Enjoyed the session. Good stuff, even though it was pretty short. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I am definitely disappointed that we ended up losing the first 2 hours. I'm gonna write an angry letter to Streamlabs tonight, I assure you. Dude, I was in panic mode. I kept hitting go and it just said starting and it wouldn't do anything for 2 hours. It went up and live, and hey, I just want to say thank you to my players, man. These guys were awesome and sat here for 2 hours waiting just to make sure we were here if it did go live so that we could continue this. So thank you guys. I appreciate you so much for all that. Last but definitely not least, Numeri Sneeze, Mr. Numar.
Yeah, had a good session. It's been fun. I'm here 3 days a week on this channel here, so follow me as on the D&D stuff too. Just on this channel. 2 days a week,
Yeah.
I'm on my other channel, my own Twitch channel, Numerousness. Thursdays and Saturdays. If you guys just can't seem to get enough of me.
There we go. Let's make sure this works, I hope. Oh, it messed everything up. Hold on a second. Damn it. here. Okay. We just do a shout out. I tried to type in something with it so people knew, but let's do this. So there's shout out. Numerousness. Nice. Yeah, definitely. Right there's Numerous's Twitch channel. Please, guys, as a personal favor to me right now, go over, give Numerous a follow. You know, it takes 2 seconds. You can do it right here. Click on his name and it'll pop it right up and you can give the guy a follow. It would mean everything to me. We got to help our fellow content creators, right? Like, this is not an easy job. It makes it, you know, everyone on the internet makes it look real easy. It's not, I assure you. There's a lot of, hard work and time and man hours put into this stuff. So please go over and give our guy a follow so that we can help his channel and help him get started in this trajectory. But yeah, as far as me, I'll go ahead and make my final statements. This is my home away from home here on Twitch. Tabletop Down, we have a YouTube channel at Tabletop Down on YouTube. You can also find at It's So Sublime there. I don't do as much with that yet. That's like my video game stuff, but focus on the tabletop here. So yeah, at Tabletop Down. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Insta. You can find me on TikTok. We're trying to hit TikTok and YouTube really hard with shorts from our role-playing games, so you'll see a lot of clips and things from this. Also, we do have the full unedited VODs up right now on YouTube, so if you missed something, you want to go back and rewatch something, the full uncut videos are there. I am currently working on editing at least, the beginning and end, of those videos, so we can get a slightly more trimmed down. You don't have to watch 5 minutes of a starting screen, but luckily on YouTube, you can just fast forward past that stuff, right? But yeah, I'm trying to get some edits over there. You'll check out some really cool shorts and things like that. Yeah, you'll find all the cool shorts from the video games, role-playing games, all the stuff that we do on the channel. Again, I'll make one last mention of it. It is completely, because of you guys that I'm able to continue doing this. Yeah, I know times are tough for everybody. I do not want anyone to ever put themselves out. So if you can't afford to donate or any of those things or subscribe, then signal boost us, right? Times are rough, signal boost. Pass us out on your Twitter, send a friend a video link. That stuff goes so far in helping spread the word and bringing more people in, and then tell your buddy to donate. That's the way you do it, man. It's a sneakier way to go about it. But yeah, then again, for those of you guys that can manage it, $1, $2 like that, it may not seem like a lot, but it all adds up and it is what keeps us going. It's the only reason we're able to do this. So thank you so much for everything you do, and maybe consider doing something like that on the way out. Subscriptions are a good one, man. Use your Prime subs. Those Prime subs are awesome. They give us the full, same thing that a regular sub does, and you get them for free every month. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let it drop there. I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing out, and we will see you guys next time. If you lost it in the couch, that's exactly it, right? That's it. And the nice part about it is, if you actually look at what it says at the very top of our Ko-Fi page, is Ko-Fi does not take a percentage. I do think there's like a 50-cent exchange that we're just where it processes through PayPal, but Ko-Fi doesn't take any of your tips. You know what I mean? So whatever you tip through Ko-Fi or through Ko-Fi, they don't take any portion of it. Real quick, let me go ahead and do this one while I'm thinking about it too. Exclamation link tree. Oops. Right there's our Linktree account. You can go in there, you'll find the Ko-Fi page, and you'll find a direct link to go through PayPal directly, and it also doesn't take any percentage. So instead of Twitch or Streamlabs taking any of it, it goes 100% to keeping us playing role-playing games. Keeping us playing games, and making it possible for us all to have fun. All right, I'm gonna let it go there, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I will be back within an hour. I always say like 10 minutes, and it takes me forever. I gotta talk to the game. Actually, no, I'll tell you one thing. Tonight, I actually am going to go directly from here over to our Roleplay Discord, so Roleplay channel in the Discord. So I'm gonna do my post-game talk. We'll bullshit in there. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. I'll hang out in there for 30 minutes or so, and then we'll be playing Blood Hunt later. So if you want to come back for that later, feel free. But yeah, if you want to catch me, talk about the game, ask me any questions about why I did certain things or any of that stuff, check me out in the Discord on our regular Discord server. Exclamation Discord. Jesus, get all the links in there. find the roleplay section. That's where you'll find me. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you're at, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.